about narrow? Wide and narrow.
No. That's too easy.
Makes it
Okay,
a sec-
we are feeding out to the people, just in case you guys don't know that. We're still getting technically set up here. Kevin Dixie decided to call in on the right night tonight. Instead of, like, last night he was calling.
Yeah, you kept ignoring me.
Yes. I was like, I'm going to
like,
hear about this later. I'm like, Lola, you better find out why Kevin's calling in, because he's going to start complaining in a minute.
yeah, I'm like, what the hell? I'm doing the right thing, but it's all right. It was a little schedule snafu,
And-
but it was kind of cool too because I was way out of my league last night. I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
Kevin, one Friday night, thinking Fridays, I was always on Fridays, right? So I just called them up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? It's Friday." Oh, well, but you can stay if you want. I said, "Well, I'll go if you want me to go. I don't have to stay, I'm always stay.
So listen, we're talking. We're rolling through here and talking about everything. So I'm just going to probably let all this stuff go here for a we'll explain everything to you guys in a second. Let us know if there's any audio issues. Hopefully this will be better than last night when all of YouTube was crashing. Of course, I'm going to remind everyone to go to hankstrange.com. That's our website. That's how you find out all the different ways that you can get in touch with us, follow us on things, support us. You can look for the Strangerholics tab on there. It has all the links. I'll keep updating that. We have a lot of other stuff that we need to add to that. There's also a tab where you can get merchandise from us, like these patches. So please go in, support us, get some patches. Lots of different things you all could do. Lola throws up deals on there, so sign up for the email list as well. That being said, let me load these dudes up in here and smash the open button. Let's get.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange
Situation. Boom! Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel,
Loaded.
smash the thumbs ups, ring the bell, Walter. Ring the bell. There you go. We know we got to do jazz hands, like it or not. Jazz hands need to be done. There you go. Jazz hands are in effect. I hope you guys have your big girl panties on, because this is episode 674 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Hank Strange, and tonight's show is titled 1 billion, and I spelled the billion with a lowercase b. Lola, you're gonna have to fix that. Lowercase b, but it's a big B. $1 billion ammo backlog. We'll talk about that here in a second. Just from one company, by the way, pretty big ammo company, but from one company out there. Our guest tonight, Kevin Dixie of NOC, No Other Choice, blazing.
Yep, just relaxing. How's everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
What's the temps up there in you're in Atlanta now, right? No, Atlanta, greater Atlanta area, I should say.
Yeah, greater Atlanta area. It feels like a good 63 right now, 64.
Oh, that's warm.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad. That's not too bad. All right, so let's see. Our other guest joining us is Walter Killer Keller of Safety Harbor Firearms. There he goes.
fresh from the tropical storm.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because Tampa's getting hit hard.
Well, that was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah. It was cloudy here, but we weren't. It was cloudy and rainy, but not really that bad.
It was windy and rainy, but I didn't see any downed trees or anything. So. No.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We'll talk about all that kind of stuff. Big shout out to Franklin Armory, the sponsor of the of our podcast tonight and every night. They're one of the companies that helps us keep the lights on and all that kind of stuff around here, as well as Safety Harbor Firearms. So big shout out to them and all you folks who are out there. Smash those thumbs ups as you're coming in. We've got some.
My phone off my desk.
Let's see. CB says Oreo craving. Yes, it's an Oreo night. Walter is that creamy white filling. That should be. You need a tattoo, Walter. Creamy white filling.
No.
I got your creamy white filling right here.
I'm gonna sing for you. No.
No. Okay. Jerry Parker says last night was a soup sandwich. By the way, if you guys want to see last night's episode, it's up. So it's on the YouTubes. You could check it out. Even the audio version of it is up. There were some people that were able to see it, but with whatever was going on, I think YouTube crashed several times. So Appalachian Gunrunner says last night's show had 3 really smart guys and Hank. True. Very, very, very true.
I don't. Once again, like Kevin said, kind of out of my thing. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I know about money and stuff, but I don't know about all this Bitcoin stuff.
Well, you better get up
so.
on it, and we have access to Rob McNeely of TUSC, which basically he's setting up TUSC. It's a method that we can use like Bitcoin to make payments in the firearms industry. One of the things he was explaining, like to make it short and sweet for a lot of folks out there, Bitcoin has grown tremendously in value, and a lot of people are just sitting on it and not actually using it to buy stuff every day. So basically, TUSC is a form of cryptocurrency designed to be used every day, and we need to start using that. For example, I got banned for life from PayPal, and so did other people out there. And one of the if you remember Operation Choke Point back under the Obama administration, we were talking about that last night. One of the ways that they want to shut down the gun industry is by pulling our ability to buy, sell, trade, get financing, etc. So, we need to be ready for that. Tango Hunter says KD gone for a minute, comes back looking like Rick Ross.
Damn, I wish I had that man money.
Oh yeah, Rick Ross, the boss.
Yeah, I know. I'm letting this beard, man, is getting a little bit out of control, and not that I need any help with looking any larger, but the more this beard, the bigger it gets. Like my face just looks more enormous. But I'm trying to wait and like shock everybody. Maybe I'll do it around Thanksgiving, come back with a clean face. Maybe I'll just shave it all off. You never know.
Yeah,
go for it, man.
Yeah,
it'll grow back.
You're gonna go full. Sorry, Walt. Go ahead, Walt.
I just said it's going to grow back. Ain't no problem with that.
Okay, yeah. Go full baldy.
I'm thinking about definitely doing it up top. I looked at that male pattern baldness a couple of times. I'm like, man, I could just let it go. Let it go.
Yeah. I used to do that.
Just stop holding on to it and just let it go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I have an emotional attachment to my hair, though.
Okay.
My wife don't like my hair cut real short, so and I don't, it's thin anyways, so
Yeah, Walter used to have long blonde locks, supposedly back in the day, and he used to walk around with a big gold chain and all that kind of stuff.
I didn't have a big.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
I had a mediocre gold chain. I couldn't afford what I really wanted.
Yeah, who of us can,
Well.
You can always get the fake ones. You can always rock the big fake dookie chains. You just don't want to get robbed for that, and then it's fake,
Yeah, and then it turns like copper. It's like no.
Yeah, if it makes your neck go green, that's not good.
That's not cool, man. That's not cool.
No, that's not a good thing. I carry my revolver in single action. Says, nah, KD, just keep your beard trimmed and shave your head. So there you go. But we're going into the winter, so.
Yeah. Now, see, that's the thing. I'll be rocking my fashionable, fleece lined, by the way, might I add, beanie. Okay. So my head will be nice and warm. But, I've been definitely thinking about it. Slick up top, full nice beard, going down, and then what I have to do is I have to continue to ask the ladies what they think, and we'll take that up. And especially the lady, like the one that I have to lay next to every night. We'll make sure she approves.
Right.
If she does, then I'll do it.
Yeah. Let's see, a couple of things here. Harry's Holster says, did he look like Dog the Bounty Hunter and Mr. T had a baby?
No, I never had long hair. I had a little bit of mullet action going on at one point, but it wasn't like out of control hippie shit, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
No.
That was a really good show, by the way. I kind of liked it.
What? Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Yeah, man, it was so fake, but I so enjoyed it.
I think I only ever saw one episode.
I watched it. I watched it when it was on, once in a while, but his time's over with, I guess. So
yeah.
Being on TV.
At some point, a dude. I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know how much plastic surgery a dude really needs.
Or how much dyed blonde hair a dude needs.
If you find yourself doing that as a dude, if you can't get old gracefully, then it's a sign right there.
No.
You might want to hang it up. When a dude starts looking like the cat lady, time to stop the plastic surgery.
Plastic surgery? Who would ever do that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so far as we know, Walter, you just did the eyes. We don't know what else you did. Hopefully, your wife's benefiting from whatever.
We were looking at the before and after. Tonight, we were looking at the before and after pictures, and I'll show it to you. And you can definitely see what I was talking about with my eyelids on my, down on my eyelashes. I look, it's definitely better. So
Kevin
that was
Dixie.
for
Kevin. Walter had plastic surgery, but he doesn't want to tell us what he actually had done, but I have an idea.
Oh, penis enlargement.
Yes.
no, they had to do a reduction.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Somehow I doubt that.
One thing that shocked me about Walt is the first time I walked up on him. Now, the first time I seen him, it's like, you're a thick ass dude, man. Walt is like fucking that.
It's like a tank.
Like, he's built like a damn tank. You really are. It was like really, really deceiving online.
Yeah,
so
he's got Popeye arms too. He's got like he's like a real working dude. It's like if you punch him, you might break some bones.
Your bones.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know how they actually kept him fed as a kid. I don't know.
That's meat and taters. Meat and taters.
Yeah.
Meat and taters. And corn.
Oh, okay.
That's a Midwest diet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, macaroni and the cheese too at the same time.
Oh, you gotta have a good, not the store bought shit either. Like that good mac and cheese.
My mom would make my homemade macaroni and cheese.
Yeah, that good stuff. There you go.
Yeah, you got to put extra cheese on there. I don't like bacon and stuff like that on there, but I know there's people like bacon.
Just lots of cheese.
Yeah, just extra cheese. That's all you need.
And the different flavors too. You got to do the different flavors.
Oh, I mix it up when
Ooh, yeah. Oh, it's got to be layered, man. It's got to be. See, Thanksgiving around the corner too. This is the right conversation.
Yeah. Someone asked us, talking about Thanksgiving, I carry my revolver in single action. Says, Hank, do you eat chitterlings on Thanksgiving? I don't eat chitterlings on any day.
Send me the ones that you don't eat.
Chitlins?
Is that how I'm supposed to say it?
We say chitlins. See, Walt more, bro. Come on, Walt. You so, brother. We want chitterlings. Chitlins.
That's what it says if you spell it out.
I'm a Southern convert, since 1969, so I know what chitlins, and collard greens and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you see what I'm saying? See, that's my soul brother right there.
I don't eat the stuff, but I know what it is.
Right.
Now you're messing it up. We had a whole thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Now chitlins is it, but you know what? The funny story about chitlins, real quick, and it was with the owner of the facility that I partnered with back in St. Louis, the range, and I was making fun of them around Thanksgiving. I think it was last year, the year before last, and he's a white guy from Tennessee, and he's like, "Oh, you think I don't know about them chitlins?" So he told me how they would go out and slaughter the hogs, and his mom would make them grab the intestines and stand in the field and sling all the crap out of them.
Oh, yeah.
Holy crap.
And go back in and boil them, and they would have chitlins that night. I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. I passed judgment. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's poor people. You know what I'm saying? Poor people.
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to eat, it's not like my kids. They think, chickens and stuff like that, they just magically show up in the supermarket.
Of course they do.
Listen, even I know that. I was born in a third world country, man. And even living in Nigeria, my mom used to make me slaughter the chickens. That's harsh. Like, you chop that chicken head off and then it's still looking at you. Yeah. And then you have to boil it and pluck the feathers off and all that stuff. I did all that, believe it or not. Go ahead.
You got $5 in there.
Yes, he says, want to see #Walter Mullet pics. We're going to have to get that from Peggy.
That's a tough one. That's going back early 80s,
Yeah, Peggy has that. In the 80s, I had a mullet. In the 80s. I did.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I definitely believe you.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
My father was real upset about it for some reason. I think he was just jealous. But, yeah. Who didn't have a mullet back in those days? And then you did. You just had an afro. I had an afro too. I had a
fro for a minute. I had you had to rock that thing.
Yeah.
I had the fro for a minute, but then it was go through whatever most kids go through, and it was like, oh, you ain't gonna now. Hold on, I did the fro, I did the box. You had to have the high fade box.
Eraser top.
The water box with the high fade.
Yeah.
I did the Gumby. You know, you got to slope that thing.
Yeah. That came from New York, sir. We invented all those. Go ahead.
Gumby.
Okay, I'm not gonna doubt it. You ain't got to get all defensive. You know what I'm saying? Then we did. Then you had to put the curl in that thing. So when you got the box, right? Sometimes you have to put the curl in that thing. Get the S curl, bump that thing up. Hit it with the sheen real quick. Right, and then if you did, hold on, what about the tail? You have to have the tail in the back.
That's what I just said. That's a mullet. The tail.
No, that ain't a mullet. A tail is an individual source of hair. A mullet is a flood. It's a waterfall. It's a difference, brother. All right. It depends on who's waterfall.
It depends on who's doing it.
Now, depending on how long you call what you call a tail or a mullet. If your tail went past,
it's in the same category.
Okay. It is not in the same category. You are absolutely wrong.
Okay, here's what I want to know. I want to know if Kevin Dixie had Jerry curls. Be honest, because we might get evidence.
I did have curls. I never had a Jerry curl. So it depends on what you define as a Jerry curl, right? If you define one as being long, I never had that.
I'm talking about coming to America. The Soul Glow.
Yeah, it wasn't that long though.
Oh,
I couldn't get it that long.
Oh, okay.
But I used to have that thing though. Don't get me wrong, boy. Come on.
I want to see those pictures, Walt.
Come outside, and look. Your hair used to sweat. If you sweat a lot, like in the Midwest, you do. You have to keep a towel on you, right? Because the juice kept running down your face.
Oh man, that's too much work. That's too much work, man.
Yeah.
That's too much work.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You never sit back on grandma's couch.
It's like you see those things with James Brown when he was rocking out and going like it.
Yeah.
It just stuff just like coming off him. It's like, oh.
Well,
man.
there's the famous scene, Walter. This is sacrilege. I know everyone's going to say, how is this possible? But Walter never saw Coming to America. But if you look at the movie Coming to America, there's a famous scene in there where these dudes are sitting on the sofa, and it's three people. No, I think it's not just guys. It's like a man.
It's like a girl and two guys.
Yeah, and they get up off the sofa, and there's like a big oil. There's three oil spots when they get off the sofa. It's so funny. But that is the 80s.
Hey, that's another reason why Grandma's plastic stayed on her couch a little bit longer than it should. I ain't coming over here, boy. Because you come in because you had to look fly when you came in the house, right? Mm-hmm. So you had to sit down, but then you had to lean back, right? And then you had to rest your head. You couldn't look like you wanted to be bothered, right? So that means you had all the pressure, pressing the grease and the juices and berries all against the plastic, right? So Grandma had to keep the plastic on her because I was messing up her stuff. So that, man,
we were too poor to have plastic on the sofas. Only the wealthy people have plastic. You know how much money it costs to put? Did you ever see this, Walter? People put the plastic on the sofas.
Yes. Yeah, white people did that too. Yeah.
You had to have money for that. That was money. Oh. And you were still, I know anyone's house that I went to that had plastic on their sofas, you're not even allowed to go in the living room. I don't know what the point is.
You definitely couldn't. Yeah. It's like a room, like a model room. You just walk by and keep going.
It's a waste. It's for no reason, for show.
One thing I will say, I come from, and don't ask me about how the family went different, but, my grandfather was a multimillionaire. So when we used to, go to his house, he had all the nice stuff. So I remember walking in there a lot of times and, being a kid, especially with them curls, I tried to sit at his dining room table once. And I remember I was a little kid, but I remember it because, me and my grandfather were really close before he passed. And I sat down at the table, but he had the chairs that came up high. So they had the cloth, the real decorative cloth, right in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. Man, I went to lean my head back. He was like, "Yo, sit up straight, young man." You couldn't let that head go back. Oh man, the good old days with the curls, man, the juice. And then we went to, and somebody said that I have an activator. Hell yeah, I had activator.
Oh,
and then,
no. So you're spritzing the whole time.
Oh, bro, come on, man. I told you I was fresh with that. And then I put on the MC Hammer fit too. Oh, bro, don't get me started.
Hammer time.
Yeah, we have to see pictures of this. Pictures need to show up. The only embarrassing pictures, I know I have stuff of me in fake and pleather, what they call pleather, like the pleather jackets like Michael Jackson. I have those somewhere. I think I've shown that before. I probably have it on my phone or something. Let's see here. Born to be a Shooter says, Hank, whether you like John Lovell or not, I really think now is the time to put all the great YouTube Pew Pew channels onto his network. because then they can filter us because we don't own. Okay. I don't know John Lovell at all, and I know that he does have something. I haven't had time to check out all that kind of stuff, his particular channel, so I really can't speak on it.
Why would somebody say that you don't like him?
Maybe there's people who don't like him. I don't know if he's speaking about me specifically. I don't know him to not. That's the Warrior Poet Society guy, right?
Yeah, okay. I met John. I think 2 or 3 times now. He's a really nice dude, man. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna say we went out and had drinks, but he's really nice, cordial, kind. Mm-hmm. We took a couple pictures together, laughed, chopped it up for a second. He seemed like a nice guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I think we need to get past all this who likes who and who don't like who. What we trying to do, man? What mission we on? Yeah. All these, and I'm not saying that you dislike him. Like you said, you don't even know him.
No.
But we got to get past all that. His network is pretty awesome. I know he has Tony Summit over there and a couple other guys. It seems like they're doing great things, but at the same time, I doubt if his network can host like every gun dude in the country.
It may not be open. It may not be open to everyone, so I don't know, and I don't have any problem with it. Look, we have Full 30 from what I've seen. Like, I've seen emails and stuff like that from Full 30. They're actually working on that thing, it seems, and improving stuff. And we do have things on there. There's Gunstreamer, but they're not working on it. And then I'm on Library TV, which I've told you guys about before, and that's on the blockchain. So I'm looking for stuff all the time that's on that works off of blockchain. So it would be more difficult. That's basically the backbone to things like Bitcoin. So it's more difficult for people to shut them down, and they don't care about all this political stuff. So the things that work like that are Minds, which works a lot like Facebook, and that's on blockchain. And then Library TV, which I've shown you guys before, and I can show you again. Let's see here. If we go real quick. I'll pull up I'm just doing this as a not because I'm trying to get a shameless plug in here for you guys, but if you go to hankstrange.com, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you just Google it, you'll come up with hankstrange.com. Go in there, and there's this tab called Strangerholics. If you go in there, all these Skittles like looking things here, these are all the different places, and under video platforms, this last one is Library TV. So if you click on it, it takes you there. It's library without the I, so lbry.tv, and there's a Hank Strange channel, and all my stuff is there. And that's running off the blockchain. I found that out from Rob McNeely that was on last night, and they actually have ways of paying people for looking at stuff and paying people like myself for posting things, and it's through cryptocurrencies and things like that as well. So there's lots of different, and there's a whole bunch of different things out there that I think we can all get involved in, and we're all spending time looking into that. Parler, for example, isn't Dan Bongino one of he's at least the front man of Parler. So there's lots of different things going on out there. I'm open and willing to try different stuff,
Okay. But I think there's something that should be added to that, which is real simple. And I know you've been beating this horse longer than I have. But I'm right there with you now. Guys, you got to go to even know where people are at to get a reminder. You got to get on those email lists. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to. Like, that is, at first when everybody was screaming that a couple of years ago, I was way behind the curve on that. But it makes so much sense because all these different outlets, it doesn't matter if this one disappears tomorrow and you're like, oh, crap, where was that again? Oh, let me scatterbrain. If you were just on the email list, then we can communicate with you directly and say, here are all the links. Come find me here.
Yeah. The thing to remember is that we don't own Facebook or YouTube or Instagram. So you could have 1 million, you could have 100 million people following you on any of those things.
Boom.
Yep. They take it away from you, you're done.
Mr. Guns and Gear, 150,000 people on Instagram in one night with no violations.
Yeah. You know who really pissed me, and I was mad about Guns and Gear, don't get me wrong, but they've been doing it to him on and off. One of the people that they went after that really surprised me was 13C Joe.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah.
Joe's like one of the least, he doesn't say bad words and he doesn't do all that stuff,
Yeah.
What they do to Joe? That's my boy. What they do to him?
They deleted his Instagram. So if you want to find it, I'll show you guys. Go to he made a new one, right? He's got a new one, a backup. It's called 13C Media. Just go over there and follow him. But I know Joe's probably like at this point. I'm sure he's tired. YouTube completely demonetized his channel several months ago. There's a lot of stuff going on there, and I'm not really sure why they're targeting.
Well, I'm just throwing something up here. When did that happen?
Well, the Instagram thing was right after he got elected in Indiana.
I was going to say he's became political. So he took out the old school guy.
Yeah.
So it's not coincidental, my friend. Not at all.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably not.
Watch out! If I started running for some office, watch how fast all my stuff goes away.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big wig, so I'd probably say a lot of bad words, but
yeah. Well, this is one of the reasons why he didn't tell us what he was doing in the first place until, like pretty much election night. He told us about it, but because he didn't want this all to happen before that. So, we just have to keep fighting back against these kinds of things. If you guys know 13C Joe and you want to find him on Instagram, go to 13C Media. He's also on Parler. You could probably find him at 13C Gun Reviews on Parler. It sucks all this stuff is happening, but this is the new norm. I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys.
And it's going to get a lot worse.
Yeah, there's more coming at you.
So, Hank, if you would allow me to just say this right now.
Sure.
Please, for the love of God, because I'm all over the radar, so please, for the love of God, go to nootherchoice.com and sign up for the email list. Mm-hmm. Just please do it. Please do it. And as an extra added bonus, I'm going to tell you what, sometimes you got to give people incentives. And I know we're going to talk about this. We're going to get into ammo. Mm-hmm. But just know, and I'll mention it more later in the show, but just know that PMags are already starting to creep up there in price and go out of stock. Mm-hmm. And there might be some PMags available even in the harshest times, but maybe you only know stuff like that if you're on an email list.
Right.
Where to get them from? I don't know.
So what are you hitting at?
Yeah, I'm just saying you might want
to get on the email list of your gurus.
I'm just saying.
I don't have 100 PMags, but I do have 100 AR mags sitting in a box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I still have my mags from the 3rd grade.
Magazines?
I've been buying magazines this whole time, man. Magazines, ammo. Huh?
I should have kept Old Mags Matter. You could have been right, man.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to.
Walter actually had the website All Mags Matter, and then
Old Mags Matter. Yeah.
Yeah, Old Mags. Yeah. Old Mags. I mean, I haven't been doing the gun thing that long. Probably like 8 years or something. But this whole time I've been buying. Lola she gets mad every time she finds PMags in the plastic, and she's like,
"Don't be mad."
Yeah. What's the deal with this? Why are these things in the plastic? Where else are they going to be? I'm not putting plastic on my sofas. I'm going to keep the plastic on the PMags. For sure. Those are tradable.
That's
how tradable that is?
That's like having chips of gold or chips of silver if you got a PMag, man. Shit, yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to explain to people, but like I told them, it's already. Look, I was on I love the guys over at Barnauls, and I went on their site. Guess what? They're out of them. Mm-hmm. They're sold out.
And a couple of weeks ago, that wasn't true because I've checked. We were checking into this. Up until a couple of weeks ago, you could go into any gun store, you can go on Barnauls, and you could get AR magazines.
Yeah, I don't think mags. There hasn't been the run on magazines yet. I mean, people are buying.
I think it's kicking off, and there's definitely been runs on gun stores since Election Day.
I think it's only kind of slowed down because of all the uncertainty about how the election may or may not turn out. Mm-hmm. But if we get that, if you wake up one day like, okay, the game's over, the fight's over, this is what it is, and if it winds up being Biden, then they're going to be flying off the shelves overnight.
Yeah, if you see them right now, what is it? DCG44 says, bought my last couple PMags for $7 new. You see that price? Just get it.
Oh, yeah, don't even think about that.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to tell you, if you see anything up to, and I'm not trying to be funny, $7, $8, $8, $9 even. Real good times.
Yeah.
But if you see them for anything less than, to be honest with you, for like $14 on down, man, just get them. Mm-hmm. Just get them, because I don't know if everybody remembers when PMag skyrocketed up to like $35, $60 in some cases, and that was just 4 years. Well, no, what was that? Yeah, between
13.
What was that? 4 years ago?
Newtown.
That was
Newtown.
2013.
Yeah, Newtown. There you go. Yeah, when they got up to like $60, man, like that, and that stayed there for like 4 or 5 months. Like. They're already in. I got a couple of buddies that sell in Chicago, and they're like PMags are already going for $25 to $35.
Yeah. Wow. I believe it.
So.
Yeah, I believe it. So listen, we're going to get into the ammo thing right after this. There's one thing I really want to do because I've been neglecting to do it the last couple of days, and this is like an RIP. And so if you guys know Tops Knives, we've had I think we had Craig from Tops Knives on, and Tops Knives on their Instagram, this is their post that they did a couple days ago. It's with heavy hearts. We announced that Mike Fuller, Tops Knives founder, passed away on Saturday, November 7th, 2020. He started Tops Knives in 1998 with the goal of making knives for military and first responders that they could trust with their lives and when they needed them most. Over the years, he was quite successful at doing that, and the growth that has come about is because of it is proof. I think he retired back in like 2015 or something like that. So RIP, my condolences go out to the Tops Knives crew. Those are good knives, and they're amongst the knives that I own. So I didn't want to miss that, or keep missing it. There's just been a lot of stuff going on. So, just wanted to get that in there before we jumped off to other stuff. 2020, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those years. One of those years. Let's see. Okay, so with that being said, I want to remind everyone to smash the thumbs ups right now. Thank you guys for doing that. We're trying to fight this algorithm. I see everything's going good compared to yesterday. So I think yesterday we couldn't get the most people we got in the chat was 50, but we were getting 30 because of all the crashing and everything that was going on with YouTube. So it was pretty tough. Lola couldn't get in either. Although I think there were people that can actually hear us and see the chat but not see the video. So my apologies for that. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe they're setting up something. Maybe they were under attack. Maybe they're just getting ready to come for. I have no idea. Let your conspiracies run wild in your brain.
Yeah. Never mind.
Well, you've got some conspiracies there, Walt?
No. I'm just as depending on how this next 4 years go, that certain people might target certain people to disrupt their leftist activities. Mm-hmm. And a little bit of payback kind of stuff.
Yeah, who knows what kind of stuff is going to be going on.
There are a couple smart people out there that do own guns, that know how to do the interweb.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Just
Crypto Vital, by the way, shout out to Crypto Vital. He was here yesterday. He says, I watched the entire show yesterday. It's something gun people should watch. So there you go. I'm going to do more stuff like that. I'm going to get involved in this myself and jump in. And I think that we should all start dipping our toes in the water and not be afraid to do things and start trying and figuring out how these things work. Okay? Because when they really come for us and we all of a sudden have no voice, it's kind of late to start trying to set these things up. So,
yeah.
So Kermit Loves Bacon says Big Boot is ready to drop on YouTube. I think if they get political coverage, you're going to see you're going to see policies and stuff like that change real fast. So, I know they've been waiting. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard that from them for years. They're just waiting for political cover, and they may have that. So, all right. So, sign of the times. That's the headline here. I'm going to throw this up. This is on the Firearms blog. Sign of the times. Vista Outdoor behind 1 year and $1 billion in ammo orders. Yes, $1 billion. And then it says, let me see who wrote this. This is by Pete. It says, okay, which one of you is buying all the ammo? No, seriously, as if 2020 isn't bad enough. Viruses, unrest, elections, the lifeblood of the one thing that keeps me grounded in this crazy world has dried up. Forgetting to buy 5.56 by 45, 300 blackout, or 9mm. Even semi-obscure calibers are nowhere to be found, and I don't hear a lot more shooting / training going more than usual. So where's it all at?
Hoarding.
Yeah. As evidence of the historic demand, Fox Business is reporting that Vista Outdoor is behind on ammunition orders by a year and over $1 billion. I'm sure my order is out there somewhere, and we can go on. I mean, if you guys remember, I had Pete Brownell from from Barnauls, obviously, the eponymously named, he was on the show, and he said no matter what happened in the election, that we wouldn't see this ease up until third quarter of 2021.
Well, yeah.
So
it's just the way that you got to remember that the ammo companies, just because you want 300 blackout, they don't stop everything in the world and do a whole run of 300 blackout. They have schedules, they have quotas. I heard all this after Newtown, and they make X amount, and they make X amount of this and X amount of that, and once it's gone for that year. So they move on to another size, you know. And plus, a lot of these companies also make ammo for the military too. So military comes first before us lowly civilians. So
yeah, I think
hey,
there's.
Go
ahead.
I did a episode of Stogies and Straps a couple of days ago with Becker, one of the owners of Ammo Supply Warehouse, and that's what we discussed ammo. And you know, he brought up a lot of good points, and if you know, he brought up a lot of good stuff. He's like, one thing, big box stores actually will place, which is why you know Vista is behind. They will place why say a box of 9 for them is like, I don't know, say $8, right? They'll place that PO a year in advance, right? And they'll place multiple POs. So when you start looking at your Cabela's and you know your big box stores, they've got that stuff locked up too, because they'll place the POs when the price is low, and then the companies still have to backfill those purchase orders, right? So that's another reason why you can't get it, because even what they have allocated outside the military contracts is already to the big box stores, because they bought them. They put the PO in a year ago, right? So they got to fulfill those things. So it's a lot out there. I do think the saddest part isn't that the ammo is drying up. The saddest part is folks don't listen when you tell them, like, buy ammo. Like, don't stop, please, for the love of God. Don't buy another Gucci belt. Buy ammo. Hey, we get it. You're a cool kid. You got like all the latest coats and all the cool hats and all that stuff. Your Glock itself is like $4,500, and you're like, oh, I'm down to my last 200 rounds of ammo though.
Yeah.
Please, like that. So it's sad that it's one thing if you're already hoarding and you just want more. I get that kind of, but it's another thing. Like literally, I know guys that are like down to they went out and paid $33 for, you know, a box of 9, and they're going back into their local gun store like once every 2 days, trying to get up to 500 rounds. But what is that going to cost them at $33 a box? Like it's.
I mean, I'm hearing people like 9mm and stuff like that is going for $1,000 for 1,000 rounds. I don't know who's paying for that, but it's at some point we're actually going to get there solidly, where that kind of thing is happening. And you know, but listen, I think for those of us who shoot all the time, we were always buying it, and we were always, even if though we were shooting, we were always trying to make sure we went way ahead of what we needed to actually shoot. I know I'm like that. I think Walter has always been like that, and some people out there. But there's other folks that just, it was like never a big deal, right? It's like if you live, I remember growing up in New York, if you live close to the bodega, which everyone does in New York, there's like 5 or 6 on every corner, you don't shop like how I do now living out in the country. That when we go shopping, we're buying for a month or a couple of months in advance. You're buying for every day, and I think people were doing that. The same thing in the gun world. They were just buying what they needed to go to the range.
Yeah.
You
know.
Yeah. And so now, I don't know. Do you technically need it? I think if you have enough ammo to defend yourself, you know, and get around most. I mean, you know, if your guns and if your magazines are loaded up and stuff like that, if you run into a situation where you need to use it up, yes, make sure you have enough to replace that. And that can go on for a while.
If gas went up to $5 or $6 gallon, would you just go out and cruise around for fun?
No.
Nope.
You'd only drive where you need to go with the gas you have. Well, same thing with bullets.
Yeah.
Are you going to go out and load up 20 Sten mags and blast off 500 rounds of Sten gun ammunition as fast as dual wielding and like all this stuff?
No. I'm not doing that now, Walt. I cut down a while ago, huh?
And so it's just, you got to just, you know, ease it back a little bit, you know. I got a stash still. I mean, I might not have 10,000 rounds of 9mm, but I do have some other ammo, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Walter will be fighting that apocalypse with those old ass guns.
I got enough AK ammo to.
Nothing wrong with it.
Trust me, I stack them high and deep with.
You got to, man, and you know, when I was conducting my interview, like, you know, the guy said, he was like, he said, to be honest, we'll probably never see the prices we've seen over the last couple of years again.
Mm-hmm.
That I don't know if it'll go back to, you know, $9.95 a box for a 9mm or whatever. You know, he didn't say it was going to be astronomically high. He just said, I don't know if it'd be quite that low.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, if you can't go out and train, here's what you should do. You need to start paying attention to all the dry fire you can do at home. Mm-hmm. You know, buy you a cert gun and do all your dry fires at home and still keep the reps up, keep the reps high. But you're going to need to still go shoot. I mean, it's never going to replace what you can actually do on a range. It's just a good practice to get there. But be more purposeful when you go out to the range. Like, have a drill and one box of ammo and work on those particular drills, right? Just 50 rounds of ammo. This is the drill I'm working on. Take your time, because a box of 50 can last you an hour at the range if you're really working on drills, self-diagnosing, analyzing what you're doing, you know, watching everything that's going on with your shots and your shot placement and your stance and the whole nine, right? We can go into the finite details, but watch that stuff instead of just burning through rounds, right? And a box of 50 can last you a range session, and then you actually get something out of it. Add that with dry fire, and you'll be okay.
Yeah, and I think, like, let's see here. King Cam says airsoft guns. Absolutely, you got options. 22. I know 22 was there for a while, and I have tons of 22 because since 2013, when 22 actually went into shortage, I was like, I'm getting 22 every chance I get. So bucket of bullets and that cheap kind of stuff, if you have 22 handguns and things like that, yeah, guess what you could do? You could train with the 22 and keep the 9mm and the 5.56, you know, for if you really need it. If things pop off all like that, if things are so bad that you need to burn through 10,000 rounds of ammo, you know, hey, I'm not saying that's, you know, not a thing, but you're going to have bigger problems. And I don't really see things getting that bad either. I agree with Brian Quick, who says, I don't think we're going to see widespread civil war-like violence. People like living comfortably with their families for the most part. And I think most people, we're different, though. We're all kind of different people in terms of our mindset. And it's always better to have more. And, you know, here's the thing about this stuff. I don't want to say it's non-perishable, but it's very tough to perish, so it's all tradable.
Oh, hell yeah. Right here.
Yeah.
Here's a box of 8mm Mauser, right here. That's some surplus that I bought.
From what year? I'm guessing 1960.
No, well, 1960 is not old.
Damn. Okay.
What year is it from, Walt? What year? What year you got on that?
I think it says on here, it's either 52 or 62.
Wow.
62.
62.
That's
Close.
the same age as myself here. I've shot lots and lots of old surplus ammo, and guess what? I ain't getting in front of it. There is no way I'd get in front of this round here. So,
no.
I mean, if you keep it, like this saying goes, keep your powder dry, keep your ammo dry, and out of a weird environment, it'll last you your lifetime. So, if it's quality to start with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
I mean, I like I said, I've shot some grungy, nasty back in the day surplus stuff, tarnished, just wipe it off, boom, 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 you know.
Yeah.
But I don't really care about that stuff. I'm not an ammo prima donna, so you know.
Yeah.
Especially with shooting machine guns, so. But, hey.
Yeah, I bet we see a lot less of those being shot around here.
Well, that's actually been going on for a while. It's way before this started, like at Knob Creek. It used to be back in the old days at Knob Creek, when like 308 was 10 cents a round and that 8mm was 10 cents a round. They just rock and roll all day long. Now, not so much.
Yeah, everyone has to be careful. I just did a video, and I don't know if Lola turned it on yet, but I got a new SBR from the guys at Franklin Armory, and I was shooting it, and I think I limited myself to like 4 boxes. maybe 5 at the most. Yeah, 100 rounds. You know, you need to do more than that.
Yep.
Yeah.
This was my last. I don't even know if this thing could show up, but this is a black and white video I put up. Now this is months ago. This is well before we had any kind of shortage, but this is actually a case. I don't know if can you guys see that thing?
Yeah, Fiocchi.
I mean, not a case. That's a pallet.
Oh, that's a pallet. Okay. Yeah, I remember when you posted that.
I loaded it. Yeah, so it's like you should, and that's just what I put up there that day, and that was 2 trips, right? Like you need to like, and here's the thing: when you buy, if you this used to be an argument, right? So even with normal prices, let's just say, if you catch up at a pretty price, you know, when you buy in bulk, you save. People, you don't know that, you save. I don't care if it's 2 cents a round. 2 cents times 1,000 is enough money for me to want to save. But if you buy in bulk, it hurts. But I'm telling you, it's a great benefit to saying, oh, I'm going to the range today. I need 100 rounds. And just go in your garage or your basement or wherever and just get 2 boxes. Like you don't panic. Like, and then when things like this happen, you can be like, okay, I might slow down on shooting a little bit, but I'm still not in a bad position where I have to panic, right? And to your point, it is tradable. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just saying if somebody was decided if they had, let's just say 10,000 rounds of 9 in their house, and they wanted to offload a couple of boxes to their buddies for $30, they could.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of things going on. So, for example, you have a couple of lowers. You've been stacking up on lowers. Your buddy all of a sudden realized, wait, I got to make an AR because I can't buy one. You got lowers. He might have something you need. There's a lot of different things like that, going on. I try not to like throw away triggers and things like that if we swap them out of things. I'm typically bartering and trading or selling things all the time. And even right now we've sold some guns and things like that that we don't necessarily need, right? But I'm also buying. If I see something that I wanted this for a while and the price is not jacked up, I would buy that thing. So there's lots of things you can do here. And I'm not this is not apocalypse that I'm talking about. No. There's stuff you could do right now when someone can't find I don't know if are we at the point where you can't get stocks and things like that?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, you can get all that stuff. Yeah. The only thing that's hard to come by now, well, not harder is like some of the nicer SB tactical braces. And that's just because of the crap that the ATF was pulling. But no, you can get plenty of that stuff.
Yeah, nobody's getting my SB tactical braces from my cold dead hands. I'm not giving those things up to anybody.
Hopefully pretty soon we'll have 500 MP5 stocks ready to...
Oh, sweet.
I put this up early September. I said if you have spare parts around, you should be building. Right? I don't know if that's up there, right? Spare parts around, you should be building. Yeah, to your point, if you have those... I got a couple of springs here, got a couple of triggers there. Put that stuff together, man. Make some stuff up and get going. I don't know. Now, how are lowers looking nowadays? Can you still get lower receivers? I haven't been looking for them. I just bought 5.
They're running about $100.
Okay, well that's still doable.
Yeah,
I think I don't know if they still have them, but what is it? What is the optics?
Optics Planet?
Primary Arms was advertising they had Anderson lowers for $47.
Really?
Now, that was the other day. I don't know if they still do.
Oh.
But
let me go check.
They limited it to 2 of them.
They had Primary Arms, right? Let me go look at them.
Yeah, what Anderson lowers you said?
Anderson, yeah.
Okay. Let's see if that's out there. Andrew Slagle says I sell nothing.
Hey Andrew, I'm not mad at you, brother.
Yeah, I respect it.
Hey,
Kevin,
I'm not mad at you.
I took the first time I ever did it. There's a local auction company here, and it's on the interweb, Gun Auctions USA, and not the last auction, but the one before. I took a bunch of stuff of my own doubles and of things I had. I came home with $4,000.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Well, there was an AR-15, there was an AR-10. That I wasn't using, but people are paying good prices for things. So if you got lots of extra stuff, it's a good time to make a little extra cash.
Did you buy anything new?
That auction's where I bought those two little 25 autos.
Oh, okay, that's where you bought those. Yeah.
So here, Walt just told you guys, and there it is.
It's still in stock. What?
$47.99. Yep.
That is a deal.
Yeah. Yep. And that's on Primary Arms.
Primary Arms. Yep.
Okay,
Yep,
Lola, Primary Arms has some lowers for 47 something.
And you can only get one per household.
Oh, one.
Yeah,
now. Okay.
it's Anderson lowers, I think. You should make a link, Lola, so we could throw that up there and when the folks go buy those. Lola's going to probably make a link for you guys.
About a month or so ago, I even bought a couple of them. So.
Mm-hmm. Oh, never mind. Hank, you work with Primary?
Yes.
You jerk. I was going to give mine out, but it's okay.
Lola's already on top of it. If you wanted to do your thing, man, I wouldn't hold you back.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Matter of fact, I'll probably do yours too.
You both are welcome.
Thanks, Walter.
Oh, yeah, thanks, Walt. Hey, look, it's the crazy part, right? Working with these dudes, I didn't even know that shit.
Yeah, good tip,
just
Walt.
so you know, Kevin, I have 50 of them right now at the anodizers being anodized.
Yes.
We finished, I had a bunch of 80%ers that we finished in the shop. So
there's going to be some Safety Harbor ones floating around out there.
Yeah.
How much those going to be going for there, Walt?
Well, they won't be 47. Probably 90, 95, something like that. So, which is about to go in price. I don't know how they're doing that or why they're still doing it.
Yeah, they probably.
Cheap, so.
Yeah, they're probably not changing much.
Yeah, that's pre-pandemic stuff almost. So.
Yeah. And I think some of those lowers Walter has is going to have a Cevis Passum logo on it, as well as the Safety Harbor. Some will have a Hank Strange logo on it. You know, the Hank Strange Laser Blaster logo will be on there.
Hey, Walt, can you make me one?
Well, if I laser engrave your logo on one now, you would have to go back and you could put red on it if you wanted to.
Yeah, you could because once it gets lasered, it might be
it'll be a lighter color.
Yeah.
It could be done, yeah.
It's probably still going to look good. He's just telling you that because they're lasering on top of the what is it?
On top of the anodizing.
Yeah.
Right. It'll come out kind of probably grayish white.
Yeah, but someone could still like paint it in or fill it in with something, make it look sexy, put it red in there.
Yeah, I don't care. I want one. Put me down for one, brother. Just build me.
I'm okay. I'm trying to get some more 80% lowers, but they're kind of like gold right now too. Mm-hmm. So I put an order in for 200 80% lowers from Anderson, but they said next year.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
I would still get it because, dude, this could go for years. This could go for years.
If Creepy Joe Biden pulls his executive order stuff like I think he's going to do, I might end up having. I'm a manufacturer, so I probably will be able to still get them. Mm-hmm. So we'll finish those in the regular lowers now, But
yeah, I think someone just sent us, and Lola, you might want to look into this. I think AIM Surplus, hold on, let me see. I'll share this with you guys while I click through. And this is through my phone number that I give out there to people, just if you guys want to know. AIM Surplus doesn't have a limit, apparently, on the Anderson lowers. And they're $49.95. $49.95? Yeah, no limit. So, Lola, if you want to look for that and come up with a link or something like that, yeah. So, there's still... Listen, I've been collecting lowers. I've got, at least 2 Safety Harbor lowers that I didn't even build anything on. I just bought them from Walter, I don't know, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
I've been sitting on those 80% lowers for a few years because when Anderson was selling their lowers for $27, $30, something like that, there was no money in making lowers.
Yeah.
But with the current political situation, my attitude has changed slightly. So
yeah. By the way, Lola put up a link there for she put up a link here. Let me see, where is it? She put up a link.
Primary Arms.
Yeah, for the Primary Arms ones.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, Anderson. Yeah, look at that. They still do.
Yeah. So
I might have to get a couple more. Oh, you can get 3 of them.
Oh, you can get 3. It says 3 limit.
Guess what?
Okay.
Boom.
Walter's buying right now.
Boom.
Right. I mean, why not?
This is this is how you got to do it.
And look, you know what? At that price, it doesn't matter if all of a sudden all the Democrats get transported to some planet. You're still not out. You're still all right. Mm-hmm. You can still sell that thing for $75, $80 to somebody. Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you could build it like Kevin was saying.
Yeah, you could build them up.
Yeah. Just build them up.
Build it into something, and that's still tradable, marketable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan Hates You says, I'm still waiting on my AIM Surplus order. It's been months, so I don't know if has anyone else had any issues with AIM Surplus?
I haven't when I've ordered stuff lately, but it hasn't been during the peak of this craziness. So
okay. Crypto Vital says Franklin Libertas lower looks amazing.
They don't have me down as an FFL. I'm gonna have to change that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to submit your thing. So yeah, let's see. I don't know.
Hey, Hank, do you got a coupon to AIM? You were telling Lola to make a link. You got a coupon of those guys?
I don't know. Lola would know this for AIM. Lola, do you have any codes or anything for AIM? I see her in the chat. If you guys want to talk to her, she's in the chat. She's the boss of all that, man. All I know how to do is look really, really good looking.
No.
Why are you guys laughing?
Oh my goodness.
Jeff Stevens says primary is loaded with mags. Yep.
I think you got that back way. I got that bass backwards. The wife that's the good looking, and you're just there.
Okay. Well, if it's not my looks, then it's got to be the schlong. What can I say? You guys. Which one do you think it is? Don't want to.
I'm staying all the way away from that conversation.
I don't want to know.
All the way.
Yeah. Listen, I'm trying to make light of this because I don't want people to get stuck in a rut just being miserable for things that are, there's some of these things that are out of our control, and I don't really want you guys getting miserable about this. No matter what, we have to get up every day and fight for freedom. It doesn't matter who's in the White House, who's in Congress, and all that. We have to keep fighting. That's never going to end. We've been fighting this the 4 years under Trump here. We've been fighting for stuff. So, there's always a fight, but you have to keep your what's a good way to put it, Kevin? You got to keep your spirits up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Don't let this stuff make you miserable, man. Like, don't let it eat at you, because you know what? The end result is going to be the end result. You should know what things are possible. You should be prepared to deal with them, and you should do something about it. Like, whatever that includes, getting out, being active, stomping the ground, like I'm going to have to do here in Georgia for the next month and a half. But at the same time, like, know what you're dealing with, be passionate about what you're dealing with, but don't let it like eat you up on the inside, man, because if you're gonna do yourself no good.
No.
Yeah.
And it don't fix nothing either.
Don't let them demoralize you. Don't let people push you down into to bad moods and things like that. And make you do things you wouldn't normally do, because that's the biggest thing I think that lots of people are counting on out there when they push people's buttons.
I gotta get something. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, okay. We know what freedom looks like, feels like, tastes like. You know what it is, and you have to keep fighting for that all the time. So, Crypto Vital says, isn't Joe Bob owned by Barnauls? What is Joe Bob? Kevin, do you know that? Because I don't.
Joe Bob? No, I'm not familiar. I'm sorry, I forgot I was just being you.
Yeah.
I was too busy ordering my my
Oh,
lowers.
you're ordering lowers?
Yeah.
Let's see. Born to be a shooter, Josh says, do you think having 5 of each sizes of whole pew-pews plus other uppers is enough?
Look, man, to be told, okay, look, please, guys, don't yell at me for this. Okay? Please don't yell at me. There is no such thing as enough. Let me just say that. It's like there's no such thing as too many. I would tell you to be somewhat okay in your spirits if you got one of them. If you got a fully built thing ready to go, right, and you don't have the finances to say go out and get another one or something like that, if you absolutely don't have it, then don't eat yourself alive. You know what I mean? But no. So 5 is not enough. It's rookie numbers. Bump that up. I'm gonna need you to have 30 of each caliber, and then try harder when you get to 30.
Yeah, and by the way, one man with one gun that knows how to use it exceptionally well is more powerful than one man with 100 or 1,000 guns that has no clue what he's doing. So
I agree, absolutely.
So there's you can always balance this, right? If you have 1 or 2 guns, a couple of different calibers, but you're taking the time to train and all that kind of stuff, and make yourself improve yourself in whatever way is comfortable to you, then I think that goes a long way. But that's coming from dudes. As dudes, you guys already know us. We got lots of different things. No matter how much we say, like no matter how much I said, okay, I'm only going down to 9mm, I still have a bunch of stuff in different calibers.
Options.
Yeah. Okay.
Options.
Yeah. Options. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, by the way, just on the ammo thing, I know, for example, one of the biggest ammos that people can't find out there, which I was surprised, was 380. People keep asking me about 380.
Okay. You remember a few years ago when I forget what run it was, when the gun companies came out with 5 or 6 new 380s all at the same time, and then there was something going on similar to this. You couldn't find 380 either because there was such a demand for it. And once again, the ammo companies only made so much, their quota. People bought it up. You know, I mean, that happens.
Yeah,
So.
Absolutely. Lots of different things going on. And listen, at some point, start supporting people like Kevin Dixie. Start supporting the folks out there who are fighting. I don't want to knock anyone, right? But there's lots of guys who are very popular and get lots of support, and they don't fight for the Second Amendment, right? They don't talk about politics. They just want to make everyone happy and all that kind of stuff. And I get it. Bless their hearts.
Yeah.
It's awesome. But, think about when you get to a point where there's where you have the money but nothing to buy. You might want to think about supporting some people out there that help keep you informed, that train you, that fight for you, and all that kind of stuff. You should know who those people are.
That make things for you?
Yeah, people who make things, Absolutely, 100%.
I just supported AIM Surplus.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you support what I do, Walter.
Yeah, well,
sometimes begrudgingly, I know.
So,
I'm so happy I got finally I got a SHTF 50 because if that would have gone a little bit longer, it probably wouldn't happen for another couple of years.
I have barrels in the works.
Oh, okay.
So
how many 50s are you about to make when you get those barrels?
Short term, probably there's close to 50 of them.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Good for stopping engines on attack helicopters.
Hey! We don't advocate that type of activity with our products.
Yeah. Brick says, "Are we hell? We're we talking ammo shortage? Guns are scarce too." Yes.
Yes.
For sure.
And
guns that we've seen out there that are hard to get now.
What guns?
Yeah, like or ARs. I haven't been looking, so I don't know.
Inexpensive, lower end pump shotguns.
Shotguns. Someone was mentioning that very hard. Shotguns have been hard to find for over 6 months.
Lower cost pistols. The stuff that's not high end. You're gonna have a hard time finding those kind of guns. But shotguns especially, man. Shotguns are pump shotguns, just basic pump shotguns. That's
When we talk to people, like for example, when I went to the local store here, Lawful Defense, when I got that what was that, the P80 from Glock, they had a shipment of Glock come in, but the guy, the owner Glenn was like, I'm not really sure when, because if you're talking about Glocks and things like that, very popular.
Oh yeah.
Right. So if people already know about those kinds of things, they just come and go, oh, that's here, buying it.
The Glocks, the Springfields, the Colts, the Smith & Wessons.
Yeah. The Hellcats from Springfield, I don't think those are staying on any shelves.
I wouldn't imagine they are.
Yeah.
Even I would imagine the Turkish guns like Canik and stuff like that. They're running off the shelves too, probably. So. Yeah.
Yeah. Motorboater says Primary Arms is saying a limit of 1 order now. I think that's what they were saying when we looked at it earlier, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Kiaski says they're importing shotguns from Turkey.
Yeah, well, by the container-full. They've been doing that for years.
But which are the good ones from Turkey? What are the good shotguns to get from Turkey? Any of the pump actions, right? They're good?
Can I comment a little bit about Turkish shotguns?
Okay, yes.
Some of them are so effing tacky. And what I mean by tacky is they got these funky muzzle brakes on them and these funky Picatinny rail handguards all over them, and it's like, can't you just make a plain old shotgun? I saw ones. I got a email from a dealer that imports those down in Fort Myers, and they were cheap actually, the price, but they had all kinds of paints and colors, and I mean, I'm like going, ew, God, ew, yucko. But I guess some people like that stuff. I don't know. And I see a pump shotgun as I just want a plain old pump shotgun. I don't need it to be painted with the American flag on it. That kind. They had one that had like American flag colors all over the shotgun. I'm like, ew.
Well, some people like the tactical stuff. What I found with, I don't know, I think a lot of shotguns are like this. If you're going for the magazine-fed ones, they don't always work.
They're picky.
Yeah. And what kind of ammo. And they typically want the expensive shotgun shells. So you just might, if you're looking to shoot Walmart shotgun shells, which I have buckets of.
Yeah, those are cheap. I mean, but they don't always function very well.
Yeah, you want to do though. You want to put those in pump actions. So
and a decent pump action. Yeah.
Yeah. I was even. You know what shotgun I really want that I don't have?
What's that?
I want the Kel-Tec KSG SBS, the short barrel KSG. I want that.
I look at that and I go, it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it.
It's smaller. It's a little bit lighter. I want it.
I want the single barrel one. I never got the single barrel one. I need that single barrel.
The single one? I never saw that. Huh?
You saw this.
I know what you're talking about. The single one. I haven't seen those in the stores.
You saw this? I haven't seen them in stores either. But
yeah, the SBS, the short barrel shotgun KSG, I think you have to order directly from Kel-Tec.
Probably do. Yeah. They probably don't. They probably don't make them by the hordes.
So now, which I can order, but I have, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I should call up because I am my own FFL and SOT and everything, but
You want me to order one for you?
We might have to go. We might have to go a circuitous route. We might have to do that in a very stealthy manner. But
underhanded.
James' website is acting stupid. Won't let me. It keeps saying there's no shipping options found. I don't know what that's about.
What website?
AIM surplus.
Oh, really?
Really? I didn't have any problem at all.
James Miller says, did you see that Kel-Tec is making a sub 2000 that's integrally suppressed? Yes. And my answer to that is awesome. Yes, I do want one.
I just went to KSG 7 to kind of be the little brother of the KSG, regular KSG.
So should we switch over a little bit to some like straight up gun news? Where did I see this? Hold on, let me see if I tried. And there is no press release or anything about this. Walter is the one who let me know about this video.
I'm excited.
Do you guys know Century Arms? Here's the where is it? Hold on a second. Century Arms is actually coming out with an MP5, and here's Adam Runala, who is the marketing guy over at Century Arms. I'm not gonna play the audio from this video, but just to show you. This is the video they put out. There's nothing else out about this right now that I could find. But yeah, they're coming out with a Turkish, we were talking about Turkey just now. They're coming out with a Turkish-built MP5, Walt.
And as far as I know, and I could be corrected, the only people in Turkey that make the MP5 is MKE, which were the people that were making them for Zenith also. So I am kind of curious anyways, I guess it'll all come out in the wash anyways.
Yeah.
If we were going to go to the SHOT Show, I could ask the Zenith CEO lady that I'm friends with what the story is, but
maybe you haven't seen anything because Century Arms went in there and bought them.
Yeah,
it's possible.
I'm good with it. I'm calling Century Arms tomorrow, talking to the salesperson, and tell them to put me on the list.
Yeah,
if there is something. So.
And I see on that video, there's people saying, "Oh, this is like PSA's MP5." So a couple of things with that. I think PSA is making that MP5 here in America, completely different thing. Yeah, from scratch. So they're developing that and all that, and that you probably won't see. I think that's gotten pushed off now to the end of next year, if ever. But Century Arms is getting these from a company that's already building them.
And been building them for years and years. So.
Yeah.
And builds them for the Turkish military and exports them for other militaries. So yeah.
Yeah, different beast. This is already developed. The company already has tooling up for it. They've already been building them. So we're going to see that. The question, Walter, is price. I guess you've got to try to find out from them.
I'll ask around when I call tomorrow. But they were making it sound like it's going to be real affordable. So
$1,000, $1,100, $1,200 or something.
That would be real affordable.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, obviously, you're not going to get it for.
You're not going to get a $500-$600 MP3.
No.
Yeah.
No, MP5. No.
MP5s. I'm sorry. Why did I say MP3?
And they're calling it. Century's calling it the AP5. AP5.
Yeah. So Century's calling this the AP5, and what's the MSRP again?
No, we don't know. We don't know
yet.
Yeah, we're speculating.
You'll be in the video. The guy said it'll be really affordable. Something about you'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready to be surprised. I like surprises.
Yeah. By the way, this guy in the video, Adam Rinalda, that guy used to work for PSA.
Did we talk?
Yeah. He used to work. I don't know if we spoke to him when we went over to Century Arms booth at SHOT Show.
Bigfoot.
Huh? Yes, he's a bit of a Bigfoot. He's a big dude.
Gigantic.
Yeah, he's a big dude. I think he's twinsies with what's his name? With Zeke.
Yeah, Zeke Stout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Skivvy Waver wants to know what's Kevin Dixie's website.
NoOtherChoice.com. Thank you for asking. I threw it in the comments too. Now look, it's nothing as cool as like once again, if you're on the email list, you'll be able to see this stuff. But you can go to the website right now, and I got a few things up there. Got some I got some optics up there, so you can get you a nice 1x6 LVPO. P-bags are coming. I have them now, but I'm saving them for the people on the email list. So wink, wink. There's also some Surefire lights up there and some other stuff. So you can go over there and start grabbing some. I got some string light options, all that kind of good jizz and jazz is over there. And I already have them ridiculously cheap. So you want to go get stuff, go get stuff.
Kieski says he paid $1,600 for a Zenith MP5.
Yeah, that's that's about what they run. I mean, when I bought the K, I think it was 15 and change. And I got lucky with that I found that when I did.
Yeah. What did we pay for the chopped up MP5s, like the actual?
You paid $1,500
each, yeah, and that's chopped up.
Yeah,
that's chopped up. Mine's still getting worked on over at with our friend Richard Hoffman at BWE Firearms, and Babyface has his already assembled. So,
See, somebody was asking about barrels in the chat too. Like a barrel's going to be easy to get.
Barrels.
Only thing I can tell you is that if you're looking for a pistol length barrel, better get one now because them jokers are already kind of hard to find. That 10.5 and the 12.5s and the 14.5s are getting to be a little bit challenging. And that was for me. And actually, in order
who's getting rolled up on by the popo?
Not me.
Look, man, they're probably coming for me. That's a fire truck.
Okay.
Oh, you're burning it down.
Yeah, but you better. I would say, now barrels. Look, they can be just because they're trying to keep up with demand right now. If you want a good, I'm not saying. Well, yes, there are. There are good barrels and there are bad barrels.
Yeah, for sure.
Period. So if you want one of the good ones, your Faxons and stuff like that, then you probably need to go out and start trying to grab one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I would go with that. I see Zeno has a comment here. He says, I don't really trust a lot of U.S.-made Century Arms stuff, but because of AP5 seems to be made in Turkey on HK machining, I might be considering this. God willing, anything happen to the Second Amendment.
Well, I'm not so worried about the Second Amendment. I'm worried about them banning imports. That's what I'm worried about them doing. Yeah. And I do not put it past... I don't put it past Biden for 1 second. So, and that comment in that video, soon. He said something about soon, very soon, or something like that. They probably want to get them here as fast as they can. Get them in the country, get them through custom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're telling them to shovel more coal into that burner on that shit.
And Zenith was already having problems. I remember talking to one of their reps. We were going to do some pretty cool stuff together, and he was like, "Man, he said I would love to be able to get you guns and get guns into everybody else's hands." And he just like importing right. And this was, this is last SHOT Show. He's like, importing is just so strict on us now. It's ridiculous. So I can only imagine if it's already hard, so they can't get them in fast enough. As soon as they get them in, they're gone. Right. Yeah. So. I can imagine what a Biden administration will do. And let's not forget who this dude has already appointed to be his gun czar if he actually gets in office. Like if he gets in, his gun czar is just like just a loose cannon. Like this dude's just going to be just slinging.
Are you talking about Beto?
Beto.
Yeah, Beto.
Yeah, Kevin, if you can pivot a little bit, so when we're in three, when it's the three of us, we could see you. We can only see like half your face. There you go. Awesome.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. This is going to be a repeat of Obama's cabinet. He had the public cabinet, which everybody saw. He had the women and the short people and all the different, minorities and all of religions and everything. And then he had his private cabinet, which was all his close friends. And those are the people that really run the show. The other cabinet's just there as figureheads, And
I'm not. I get what you're saying about it. I'm not knocking that because I think Obama had more loyalty in his administration, which they ran a tight ship.
Once you have the goods on somebody, guess what?
Yeah.
Why do you think Eric Holder never left for 8 years? Because they had the goods on Eric Holder, and they covered each other. That's why they didn't leave.
We're gonna see some of those same people come back into play here.
Yeah. All the ones that have been under investigation are all going to creep their way back into the government, the government cheese. Yep.
Yeah, but this country is not, in my opinion, America is not like any other country on the face of the planet. So I think people should take heart in that. They can try to steamroll over people if they want to. I don't think it's not going to really be that easy. For sure they're going to do things, right? We've lived through that a couple of different times. But we just need to stay focused on everything. So that, like we're saying here, go out and get things. You need things. Stay focused. Don't make your family starve because you're trying to get some guns you don't need.
Don't do that.
No. Don't get divorced over your case of ammo.
Yeah, don't push your don't max out your credit, please. Don't do it.
No, don't do that either. And that's what people do during these times.
Yeah, don't do that. And then something happens to your car or something else, and you can't fix it. That's crazy.
You can't buy a tire, but you got a case of ammo. Woo!
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I like it. Everything you guys said, man. Like, don't go crazy. Obviously, people are buying stuff now. Clearly, the holidays are coming up, so people, stuff will be going on, a little bit of a sale, maybe. So wait, shop smart. Don't be emotionally triggered and, oh my God, look, a new news release, and I'm just going to go out and, to you guys' point, max out the credit cards, empty the savings and stuff like that. You got to live, man. You got to live. And to what Hank said earlier was so true. A well-trained man, well, you need more than one gun. You should have way more than one, but a well-trained man with one gun is better than somebody who's got 10,000 guns at home, no training, and then you lose your family around that too. Don't do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it like I'm not saying you got like folks out here are going to be doing it, but we did see that in 2013. I know I saw that.
Oh,
and I see somebody saying don't count Trump out. However, which way you want to take it. My slogan is be prepared. Period. You should be prepared for anything, right? Because anybody that holds on to an absolute is going to be proven wrong one day, right? So just be prepared for whatever. If these things go through court and Trump gets in, the states actually, turn around. I know we have some voter fraud out there, which is very obvious. I know we have those things. And if it turns around, great. It turns around. Guess what? Yeah. If you didn't go out and do something reckless and foolish, you just got a couple more toys at home for a moderate price, right? So good. So now you got stuff and you got to do stuff. Yeah. But if you don't, and it doesn't go your way, then you're going to be caught in the panic. And then all of a sudden your $47 Anderson lower is going for $200.
$300.
Yeah.
Well, after Newtown and stuff, people are paying $300 for a lower.
Yeah.
I didn't sell any of the ones I had then because I just didn't want to deal with the people, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But when people pay $30 for a regular AR mag that you used to buy for $6 or $7 or $40 or $50, I didn't sell any then either because I didn't have to.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I had to feed my family with the magazine sales, but and I probably wouldn't do it again because I just won't. But unless somebody gets really nutty crazy and wants to give me a lot of money, but
and even then, sometimes I mean, how much do you want to jack a person up? Yeah.
Well, I kind of look at it this way. I mean, I won't jack somebody up crazy, but if I say, "Hey, I want $30 for this mag," and they're chawing at the bit to get it from me, then God forbid you're going to have yourself a $30 mag. I mean, I I bought.
Well, that's
supply
only
and demand.
I think the folks that you should watch out for aren't the business people when things run up dry and they have an asset in their business and are like, okay, I got to make a living too. These are the times, supply demand, so this is what it is, man. I think that's only fair. And we have to understand, I think the gun industry, since we're such emotional people, because we understand what we're tied to, we understand the Constitution and things like that, and we're tied to it emotionally. And a certain part of us don't understand that the gun business is still a business. Like we sometimes forget that, right? And then there's the flip side of things. There are the people cheaper than dirt. There are the people.
Oh yeah! Holy cow!
Clear advantage of you. Well, right now they already got their PMags at $19.99 already.
Holy cow!
Right?
Yeah.
Already. So there are those other businesses that we shouldn't have such short-term memory about, and remember that how they just absolutely try to just completely take advantage of you. But other businesses, to Walt's point, if I'm telling you, look, man, you don't need to pay $30 for a PMag, and you're like, take my money. Okay.
Listen,
I mean, let's be honest. Probably cheaper than dirt. Probably have an order in for 20 or 30,000 of those PMags at one time. Maybe 100,000, and at that price, they're probably getting it for maybe $4 or $5 a piece.
Yeah.
If that. So.
Cheaper than dirt is one of those companies. Like we were talking about how we're all supposed to get along. There's certain people who I'm not forgiving. I won't deal with them. They've like reached out and all that kind of stuff.
They're the ones that you ordered the ammo at a cheap price. They cancel your order and now tell you it's worth more money. Remember they did that to people.
Yeah, they did it to me. I remember having a bunch of things. It was magazines and stuff like that I had in the day before, maybe a couple of days before that whole thing that kicked off back in 2013. And I had them. I had them way before that. They were paid and everything. And then they canceled my order, and the next thing I know, they said out of stock or whatever, and then next thing you know, those same things are back up at tripled prices and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I was like, that's it. I will never deal with these guys ever. I don't care what cheaper than dirt does. I'm not messing with them. Obviously, they have money because they're still around, so we haven't choked them off from people buying stuff from them. But
I think after Newtown, they pulled this game where they were doing like $800 for a case of 223 or something, some kind of crazy price, and people were buying it. What do you I mean,
this is like the NRA issue. Everyone doesn't know what's going on
until it's too late.
Yeah. So there's lots of people out there that don't realize all these nuances, right, of things. And so, we have to deal with that. Ultimately, those people, it's like we were talking about, we were talking about the Hellcat, for example, from Springfield. I don't really like Springfield for some stuff they did, but there's a lot of people out there that could care less.
I had a friend text me one of the dads who used to be in Boy Scouts with us. He was asking, what about the Springfield XD? And I said, and it was like $425 or something like that. Are they all right? And I said, yeah, they're all right. Nothing wrong with them. Because there isn't anything wrong with them. No. They go bang. Yeah, they go bang.
For sure. Yeah.
And that might have been his option. That might, so.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, if you take some of this stuff, emotionally or personally and things like that. But
that would have been where those, a Turkish shotgun painted in a zombie green. I would have said, okay, Brad, you really need to look at this a little closer, all right?
Yeah. Even with the Hellcat, like I gave it a fair look because I never wanted to cover it, but people just kept asking me, and then I was like, okay, we got to give it a fair look, and we gave it a fair go, and it's a decent gun, you can get it. But if you're like me and you can't forgive and forget, that's how it is sometimes, and I feel that way about cheaper than dirt. I don't care. I will make bullets out of freaking wood first.
We'll grind up glass and shoot glass out of my shotgun.
Yeah, they are absolutely ridiculous. Now, those type of companies, look. And then when you're big companies too, people just need to understand basic pricing. When you take your big companies, like don't get mad at the smaller businesses if they have it for like $2 or $3 more, because remember, buying power matters. So if a company can drop and order 200,000 of a thing, they're going to be able to sell it and still get margins out of it. Whereas if another company can only buy, 2,000 that same thing, they're not going to be able to give you that same deep discount because they paid more for it. So don't look like, oh, you're robbing me because yours are $16.99, but I can get them over here for $14.99. Yeah, dude, that's because they bought 500,000 of them damn things. They got
right. They put their order in last year at the SHOT Show, and they get their order filled throughout the year. So that's just the way it is. Yeah.
And if you go in the store, you don't have to wait, and
they got to pay the rent. They got to keep the air conditioning or heater on. They got people working. They got insurance.
And you help keep that business around.
Yeah.
The one thing that pissed me off more than anything, though, I saw somebody just said that their local Walmart, that a gun store went to their local Walmart, bought all the 6920 Colts, and then went and marked them up hella. There's only one thing that pissed me off more than that. The last time we had a big deal with the ARs, I walked in, I think this was Obama's first term, between Bush and Obama. I walked into a local gun store to me. I didn't shop there a lot. I just went in there to kind of look, test the water, see what things were doing. They had Smith & Wesson M&P, and it was I think it was the T. It was the nice decked out one. It was a really, really nice. It was a nice gun. They had that joker. Not only was it slightly marked up, they had the nerve on that one and a few other ones to put law enforcement only. All that pissed me off. They put a sign saying not only did they go up on price, but it's like, oh, you need to be an officer with a letterhead to come in here and buy it. And I asked,
come on.
Let me ask you a question. That gun last week, I'm sure, was just sitting over there, and anybody could buy it, right? Because it's just a Smith & Wesson.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden today, you have to be law enforcement to buy it, and then you're even charging them a jacked up price. And he just looks at me like, well, we have to make sure that our law enforcement agencies have the proper firearms. I said, dumbass, they're not coming in here. They put in POs and they get those things delivered in lots, right? They get 10, 12, 20 of them at a time. They're not coming in the gun store to buy one, right? Oh, like, that's such a scam, man.
Never shop at those people ever again, man. I remember going to a local gun store, and they had, this is when all this stuff was going on back in 2013, 14, and they had I think it was a Kel-Tec PMR pistol, right? And they had it, and everyone was trying to get those. They had one, and they had a waiting list. So when I asked about it, they had it there for a little bit above the regular price, and I asked about it, and they said, no, this belongs to a guy who's on the waiting list. I was like, okay. So then another guy came in and asked, and they told him the same thing. He was like, well, I'll pay you $600 for that. And then the guy behind the counter was like, sold. And I was like, so now you don't care about the dude on the waiting list? Seriously. So once I saw that, I didn't mess with that store anymore. Because I know exactly where they're coming from. Basically, that was the whole game that they were playing. There's another store that's local to me that they have high prices on a regular basis, but there's a gun show that happens from time to time, every couple of months over there, not far from them. Whenever the gun show is coming, they jack up their prices, and then they put out big signs like, oh, we'll be 20% off at the gun show. But they've jacked up their prices. 50, 60%. Yeah, it's, those kinds of tactics, no, not cool.
Just remember, even your local places, man, when they do you like that, just remember, you don't have to, you don't have to yell and kicking down the counters, and just like, okay, so when things do level out, just know I'm going to tell me and all my buddies, and we probably shouldn't shop there. Maybe we should go to the shop that was still treating us fairly during these times, and do your business there. because that's absolutely ridiculous. And those are people that are in the gun business for the business. They're not there to be fair and take care of you. They're there to just make a buck. And look, if you pay it though, I'm kind of looking at you crazy. Like, so there is a balance there. If you pay it, I'm looking at you crazy, because if you already have something and you just want this thing and are going to get double or triple the price out of you, then guess what? If you do it and 3 other people behind you do it, why would they change?
No.
Why would they change that up? So just remember that kind of stuff. But I do want to say again, because me and a buddy were having this conversation a couple weeks ago. He was like, "Oh, if I see anybody go up on anything, I'm never doing business with them again." I'm like,
"Well, that's not
to the small businesses, man. They don't have the buying power of those large corporations. And even then, can you really blame corporations for marking it up a little bit? I'm not saying going crazy like a cheaper than dirt, but if it was $10 and now it's $14, I mean, look, dude, that's you gotta.
The AR market is for so long has been so suppressed and beat down. So now, I mean, obviously the people who make AR-15s and sell that stuff, they don't have to be beat down as much as they were beat down, and they can make a little bit of money, and so they're doing it. I don't blame them, really. I mean, it's like, now not crazy money, but if you mark some, if a gun was $350 back when you couldn't hardly give them away, and now it's $450, well, maybe you should have bought it when it was $350. I don't feel that bad for the consumer at that point. I mean, you had your chance when you didn't want to buy that PSA gun for $350 or $325 or whatever, So, hey,
be smart, man. Don't be foolish, but be smart and be like an elephant, dude. Like, remember, if somebody, you got one freaking time to let me see you do something just totally and I'm done. Like, done. I just don't even, it doesn't even cross my mind to do business with you again.
Yeah. By the way, we've got lots of people, way over 100 folks hanging out with us right now in the chat. Smash those thumbs ups. I think if everyone out there smashed the thumbs ups right now, who hasn't done it, if you haven't done it, we could probably get to 100, which would be a nice thing. By the way, I do want to say here that we won't be doing a show tomorrow, taking the day off tomorrow because Saturday, we've got some stuff going on. Should I even tell people what we're doing on Saturday, Walter? What do you think? No, Lola says no. Lola says no. That's the end.
It's your party, so
Lola said no. She wasn't hearing anything else I just said, but she heard that. But anyway,
the voice of reason.
Yeah. So we have some stuff going on. We have some stuff going on Saturday that we all need to get rested up for, and that's what we're going to be doing. What's one of the things I haven't had a chance to talk about actually. In the last couple of days, because there's been other things going on. Did you guys hear about the expansion of the Stand Your Ground here in Florida with DeSantis? Anyone hear about that?
Oh, where he's like, the news headline says, shoot rioters and looters. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. So here, I'll throw it up. DeSantis proposal could allow citizens to shoot, run over suspected rioters. Florida governor proposes controversial changes to Stand Your Ground law. Tallahassee, Florida, Governor Ron DeSantis is proposing controversial legislation that would expand Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Amongst the changes would be an addition of justifications for people using force against one another over criminal acts during protests like looting. It would also make blocking traffic during a protest a third-degree felony. Drivers who say they accidentally killed or injured protesters who block traffic would get immunity. And obviously I'm sure that there's people that are critics of this, and people that are proponents of it. What do you guys, I'll be interested to know what Kevin thinks about this, what Walter and even the folks out there think about this stuff.
My opinion on it is this. It's a slippery slope, right? So in one aspect, I don't want to see, and I know people, dislike rioters and looters, and I totally get it, and I'm with you. I think we all dislike the chaos that happens. I don't think that's an argument. But somebody standing in the street and you're okay for running them over, what precedent does that set, right? So do I think that you should be able to kill somebody because they're standing in the street being annoying? No. Mm-hmm. Do I think that you should have to stand there and watch somebody tear up your business and not be able to do anything about it? No, right? So it's like portions of it I can definitely see, yeah, okay, you're going to have a consequence for trying to destroy my livelihood. Absolutely. I'm with that. I understand that. And then on the flip side, it's like a dude's in the street with a sign being a jerk. And, oh, okay, look at that guy. I'm going to run him over and kill him because I get immunity now. Like, there is a moral thing that happens there. Like, you shouldn't do that. They are annoying as hell for blocking traffic, standing in the street. But then there's going to be a flip side of that people are going to argue. Well, what about the people that are attacking the cars, right? They're not just standing there. They're going in. They're busting out the windows. They're driving, dragging the drivers out and stuff like that. You're going to get what's coming to you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how I kind of view that. Like, we can segment it. But running somebody over for being a jerk standing in the street, I think is kind of far. Well, I think it is too far. But however, if you start, you know, busting out my windows, trying to drag me out my car and stuff like that, then yeah, you're going to get what's coming to you flat out. And if you try to destroy my livelihood or you're trying to go through and wreck and terrorize my neighborhood, then yeah, there should be a consequence for that. Yeah.
Walter? I think you made good points there, Kevin. I just want to make sure Walter gets
I messing with people's businesses and burning things and doing like that, you get what's coming to you, okay? Because there's no calling for that. Standing in the road and impeding, and I'm talking about just one person with a sign. It's a whole mob, and it never goes good when the cars start to push the mob. Never goes good. I mean, the survey says they attacked the car. So at that point, I would tell my wife or myself, hit the gas, because your life is you. It's kind of like if you get jumped by 5 guys walking down the street in Florida, you can let them have it, because you've been overpowered. You know, you're not gonna, whether they're armed or not. You know, so. I don't think it'll be one person with a sign necessarily, but the governor is smart doing this, and the reason I say it's smart is because it deters people from thinking about doing it. You know, if you got this in your mind that, well, maybe that guy in that truck, that tractor trailer driver is going to run my ass over and just keep going, I don't think I want to get out there. I don't. I think I'll stay on the side with my sign. You know, I don't think we're going to block the interstate. You know, and they got no right to block the interstate and impede you. You might be going to see your sick granny at the hospital. You might be going to get food for your family. You don't need to stop at a protest. You know, sorry, I just don't.
So if we look at this, right, I think there's a marked difference between people protesting and people rioting and looting. Okay, there's a big difference there. I think even as gun guys, we've had reason to protest.
Right. Yeah, but you don't go out in the middle of the interstate and do it.
Well, no, we don't go out in the middle of the interstate. We don't go like obviously armed or openly armed and stop people in traffic and do all those kinds of. We don't do those kinds of things, or we shouldn't. We shouldn't do those kinds of things. But people definitely have the right to protest. And yes, I don't think there's very many people out there that want to, like one guy being annoying, like you're saying, Kevin, that they you know, human beings, unless there's something broken inside of you, you don't want to take out other human beings unless you feel that your life is threatened or the lives of people around you that are close to you, dear to you, their lives are threatened. I think if we look at the stand your ground in Florida, there's a lot of people, as it is, and I think what he's trying to do here is strengthen it. As it stands, there are people out there who think that stand your ground shouldn't even exist in Florida, and I don't think a lot of people realize how many people that the stand your ground laws save, right? And there's lots of black people who are kept out of prison because of the stand your ground laws. It just doesn't become news when that, you know, typically what happens in Florida is if a white guy kills a black guy and stand your ground comes into play, it becomes news. If a black guy kills a black guy, it's not news. If a white guy kills a white guy, it's not news.
Not news. Nope.
So there's things that happen there, and I've seen this stuff happen, and it never, it didn't make news. So I think for sure we have to, you know, try to, in my opinion, strengthen that, right? But Florida also does not give anyone the license to just murder other people.
Right.
There's lots of people who have not been granted stand your ground. So if you remember that incident where I think Do you remember the thing where there was a black guy, he pushed this old white guy down, they got into something?
And the white guy shot him.
Yeah, but he shot him when the guy had turned and walked away from him.
Yeah, right.
And they didn't give him...
White guy's in jail.
Yeah, they did not give him stand your ground, right? Because at that moment, he wasn't in danger. So now maybe if this guy had pushed him on the ground and had proceeded to attack him and try to kill him, they would have understood. They didn't understand if he did it after the guy's walking away.
Yeah, you shoot somebody in the back, not a good idea.
Yeah, so I think people need to look at it in a balanced way, and I don't think that Governor DeSantis wants to like make just an open license for people to kill each other. And if we had that in Florida, it would be the wild, wild west here, and it isn't.
Look. Okay, let me go back in time. I've been in Florida for a long time. Mm-hmm. Concealed carry comes into Florida. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's going to be the wild, wild west. Oh, they're going to start shooting people on the streets. Oh, guess what? Crime rate goes down.
Yeah, that's typically not what we have.
Crime rate goes down. So, because look, there's once again, if you think that I might look at Kevin, if you're driving around in your car and you got your gun and somebody's busting your window out, you got the right in Florida to cap their ass. Mm-hmm. Just simple as that, because that's invasion of your house. Your car is basically an extension of your home,
right?
In Florida. So, if the bad guys think, I might get shot, fuck, I ain't gonna do that.
Yeah. But
he's gonna think twice before he does it.
But here's the question I want to ask you: how often do we even see it? With all these things happening here in Florida, how often do we see it? In the current things that happen, there's one instance that I can remember, and people out there might see more, but I remember there was a protest in Tallahassee where the protesters started coming after a guy, and he felt threatened and he took out his gun. He didn't shoot anyone. The cops immediately moved in on him, but no charges were filed against him because they could see how these people were going after him. Right?
Well, it's obvious.
Yeah. So the thing I think is that there's other states where we've seen people clearly fighting for their lives and things going on, and they weren't able to defend themselves. And I think what DeSantis is doing is stepping in there and saying, hey, it's not going to be so easy for mobs to move into places in Florida and start burning stuff down and destroying things and attacking people. People will have the right to defend themselves here. Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it turn into a wild, wild west situation. No. So I think that's the thing. I know the media is going to paint it like that, but I think what he's doing is trying to establish something to protect people and businesses. And one of the last things I want to say on this, there's a lot of places where all this rioting and stuff went on and looting, and people don't realize that those business owners are not recovering their businesses.
And those towns are run by Democrats, by the way.
Yeah, but those people aren't not going to recover it. There's limits. Everyone says, oh, but you're covered by insurance. There's limits to what's
not everybody has insurance.
But there's also limits to what insurance is going to pay.
Well, they don't cover stuff under these riots and insurrection. That's insurrection type stuff. Yeah.
So you're talking about a lot of people that's it for them when people destroy or burn down their businesses. Maybe the bigger businesses, I don't know, maybe it's easier for them. Maybe they'll get bailed out. We see how that whole bailout, or what was the thing that the Trump administration put into effect? This money that it mostly went to the biggest corporations and people in Congress and all that kind of stuff. It didn't go to the actual business people out there for the most part.
We eventually did get some money. I'll say that. Mm-hmm. But we not in the first round. Mm-hmm. The first round went to all the banks. Mm-hmm. The banks got the money, and then they handed it out to all their friends.
Mm-hmm. Lots of businesses that weren't even affected got that money was supposed to go out there to all the businesses that were affected. So I think the thing is that in Florida, you're at a larger risk. Lots of people are at a larger risk that if you just decide to go out there and start tearing things down and burning their stuff down, it becomes a problem. Now, I know, like, a lot of times I was in a panel where they were talking about this, and I guess someone previously said, oh, if you break into my house, try to steal my TV, I'm going to shoot you. And the thing that I was saying is, if a guy broke into my house and I'm coming home and he's running away with a TV, I don't need to shoot him, right?
Well, he's running away first, so you don't want to do that.
Yeah, but if I'm in my house by myself or with my family and you kick in my door for anything, if you're hungry, if you want my clothes so that you can go to school with, or you just want you need to plug a TV in, so you need a TV for whatever reason, and you decided to kick my door in, I don't have any kind of empathy for you.
No.
Well, look, when it comes to your, and I'm a person that's all about de-escalation, getting away from the problem. I mean, hell, I named my firearms company No Other Choice, for Christ's sakes, right? However, I am that person that is strong on this. I am the wrath of God if you come in my house. There is no other way of looking at that. There is no other conversation to be had. If I'm there, you're coming in. Look, I got a family to protect. I am not going to negotiate with you. I'm not going to ask you, hey, can I help you? I am going to eliminate you. There is no other way to talk. You're not here for good reason. We know that, right? So there is, I think, at a point, and we should always keep that protected. At a point, to your point, guys got the TV headed out the back door. All right, man. Hopefully you got insurance or renter's insurance or homeowner's insurance.
I mean, at the end of the day, I could get another TV. It's going to hurt me or whatever, right? But I don't need to take that dude out because he's running away with a TV.
Nah, that's too extreme. But to the situation, you know, I'm up late watching TV, or I'm laying in the bed and there's a boom, boom. You're gonna get a lot of booms back, and it ain't gonna be nice, you know, because that's where we clearly draw the line. Like the line is drawn from you. It's a home. It's got doors. It's got windows. And if you decide to cross one of those, then it's not me endangering your life. You're endangering. You made that decision.
Right. You made
right. Period.
Yeah. One of the things that happened to us is, like, we had some people working on our property, and they like to drink. It was like a father and son. They like to drink and, I don't know, whatever else, you know, people like to do. But you know, they kind of got angry when they got drunk, and something happened between the father and the son. And one day, for some reason, the father. So I knew these guys, right? One day he showed up on my property, like drunk out of his mind and very, very angry, and carrying on, and, you know, just cursing, carrying on and everything on my property. Do you think the thought even went into my brain that I want to do something to him? I just said, hey, dude, you know what I'm saying? You need to get off my property. You need to leave here, you know, walk away. Why do I want to, you know, hurt someone? Even if I didn't know him, why do I want to hurt you if I don't have to? But if I didn't want it to come to that, right?
You don't want to escalate it to that.
The thought doesn't go in my mind, oh, I'm in Florida.
I'm going to shoot his ass.
I could do whatever I want to do.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot his ass. That's what.
No, the thought goes through my mind, this person has issues, and I know these guys. And I know people in their family. I don't want to hurt this guy. I want him to go away.
He needs to go be mad somewhere else.
Yes,
like,
exactly. But even if I didn't know, if I don't feel like at that moment standing outside of my house carrying on your threat or whatever, I don't, you know, it's when you lose sight of all of that, when you're so far gone that you lose sight of everything going on, and then I perceive you to become that. But none of us as human beings normally, I think, want to go to that point. But some of the stuff that we've seen in these riots and these attacks, like I looked at the video of the guy who he owned some kind of business, and he went there and these people were burning it down, and he was trying to put the fire out, and some of them, when they came out of the door, he hit them with the fire extinguisher stuff, right? Whatever that propellant stuff is. They got mad and they started beating him up, and they took the fire extinguisher and knocked him upside the head a couple of times. There was a woman asking him, like, please leave this guy alone, right? At that point there, those people they're not deserving of anything from me. No kind of empathy from me.
Boom, boom.
If a lawful gun owner is walking and, you know, put the state into the situation, as long as it's lawful in your state. If walking down the street or trying to make it home through some chaos and they see somebody being beat over the head with a fire extinguisher, they'll probably shoot you.
That's legitimate in Florida. You can prevent a felonious activity.
Yeah,
Yes.
you get shot. And I think even with what Florida's doing, I really think what he's really trying to do is just let people know we're not going to be a victim.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to he's making a point that's like, don't start the shit.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I just want to make the point. I don't want people to think that, like, we could, you know, sometimes we say stuff in bravado, but as gun guys, we don't do this because we want to take out people. How many people have you ever taken out, KD? I've seen you save people.
Yeah, normally that's what I'm doing. Even when I've had, and look, I'll be openly tell you, I've had no short of maybe 24, if not more, people at gunpoint, right? whether it was for work or whether it was in personal life, because I've made it past, I think, 10 attempted robberies. And it is, even at that point, when you draw that gun and those guns come into play, sometimes, not all the times, I'm just blessed where people give up, right? And if they've given up and they've surrendered to you and the power that you will, the fight at that point, the immediate threat is over, right? So the goal is not to kill people, even if a consequence of an action is somebody had to lose their life. You're still trying to save life. The life you were just saving probably was your own in that situation, right? So we never look at it as an instrument of death. We look at it as an instrument of preservation. And sometimes we have to wield that responsibly. Now, if you've never had somebody at gunpoint, let me tell you, man, it gets real quick. Like when you're standing there and you got somebody at gunpoint and it's like, dude, give up. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm going to be standing there shaking and out. Nah, I'm more than prepared to do what I got to do if I got to do it. But that's when stuff gets really real, and you have to know, even if you do something and you knew there was a way out and this guy was giving up and there are no cameras and you cap him anyway, you're still going to have to live with that for the rest of your life. You're going to know it, right? And it'll probably eat you up. So unfortunately, look, I've trained people, and the people I've trained have killed people. That's a fact. They have done it. And they didn't go to prison. That's saying something. Like, we have to make sure.
And we're glad that they're here. I think we had one of those young gentlemen here on the show. Yeah. Yeah.
It's absolutely good that they're alive, right? But that was a situation where the criminal gave them no other choice, right? They didn't, and they did what they had to do. That we should be prepared to do what we have to do, but also have the resolve to understand, maybe I don't have to continue to take this far because the threat is over.
Yeah. A little bit of respect. I think either one of you or both of you guys said that. People need to respect other people.
Well, and not, some people are constantly looking for a conflict. You know, they don't know what to do. Their only way out of conflict is more conflict. I'll say, well, sometimes you gotta, like somebody said in the chat, you gotta swallow your pride a little bit and back off. You know, it'll be all right. You can get called names and you can get done this and do that. You just, okay, yeah, he's an asshole. Let's get out of here. You know, back out. You know.
Plus, I don't want my precious gun sitting on somebody's damn evidence shelf.
Oh, and you'll never see it back.
Not a KD special. If you see Kevin come out with the taped up gun, you probably had some issues. You probably in trouble.
You got to use, like I got a Luger that I got from a friend that gave it to me, and it was rusty and it actually had electrical tape around the handle, and I call that the ghetto Luger. And I restored it and it works fine. It shoots fine, man. That thing was nasty. So if you're gonna do that, have it on the evidence shelf. Give them a buyback gun. You know, like a
I mean, at the end of the day, no matter how expensive that gun was or how cool it was, you know, I don't think a lot of us are like, what's the name of I know there was this situation with this kid and the guy that thought he was like security or some nonsense. I forgot his name. It wasn't even really stand your ground. I don't think they wound up using stand your ground. I can't remember. But that situation that went down here in Florida years ago, right?
Yeah, you're talking about.
Yeah.
Trevor.
I think it was the Trayvon Martin, the whole Trayvon Martin situation. Yeah. I think that what's his name involved in that had some serious issues, and you could tell from the aftermath. You know, you would think that if he really was glad that he saved his life, you know, and the situation that he was in where he could have lost his life, he wouldn't have spent a lot of time trying to go around and like enjoy some kind of fame or something like that out of what was going on. And this is why he's constantly getting into other things, right? I don't want to relitigate that whole thing.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, look, Zimmerman, with no short of words, Zimmerman's a bitch.
I think
what he is.
I think ultimately he doesn't realize. I think he finally left Florida, right? I believe he left Florida.
This dude's running around signing, like autographing packs of Skittles and all that. Like, that dude is.
That's crazy.
He is, and to a degree, I'm glad that a lot of gun owners, you know, didn't back, because even when you look at that situation, man. Long story short, it was a case of a guy, we know, Dad being a judge and, you know, being around law enforcement for a while. It was a case of a guy who understood the law and knew how to apply it to a messed up situation. You should have left that damn kid alone. You should have left the kid alone, right? And when you went up to him and harassed him or whatever happened, which we'll never know, but something made that kid sock you. Something made him sock you, right? And instead of taking a couple of licks as a man, since you shouldn't have been messing with him, you decided to apply the law to the situation and knew that you could get away with it because you applied the law. This kid didn't understand what he was putting himself into. You did, but you also provoked it, right? So, and then when you run around and doing all this crazy stuff for fame, then he's constantly, a lot of people don't know, he went around threatening to kill other people. Like that dude is a nutbag.
He was getting into shootouts and all kinds of things. He thought he was like, you remember Bruce Lee? People used to try to like go meet Bruce Lee on movie sets and fight him and stupid shit like that. I don't know if that was real or not, right? But you just, okay, regardless of what happened, you just got through that. You need to just blend into the background and move on with your life.
You would think so, yes, but that's not what always happens.
Yeah.
But going around doing all that crap he did, man, it's like you're making look, if you have to defend yourself, even if the public disagrees with it, but you know in your heart of hearts, you did the right thing. I saw somebody put in the comments like, yo, I'm done. You will never see me again, right? So, yeah, if you did the right thing in the hearts of hearts and you defended yourself and the public disagrees with you and the court agrees with you, cool, man. It happened. It's done. Move on. But in that case, A, he didn't do that. That wasn't the situation. And B, to run around, and that makes everybody who owns a gun look like a maniac, right? There is still something that we have to deal with that. And running around, doing autographs, threatening other people, saying I've killed once, I'll kill again, and all that crazy crap he was doing. No. That's
what. But those are the things I think that put the Stand Your Ground in Florida under threat, and it's something that many people in Florida have used to save their lives and stay out of prison. Oh, here we go. The cuteness is back. She's like, "Why are you outside right now?" Hey, what's up? Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to make everyone get caught up in the quagmire of that nonsense. I think an armed society is a polite society, and this is why all of America should be able to be armed, the entire country, and people should know. And I'm not saying it's a 100% cure-all in Florida. We still have crazy stuff happen here, and we still have bad things happen.
But it makes the bad people think twice.
It makes a big difference.
It does.
It makes a big difference.
I mean, not that I'm looking for trouble, but I was like, at least maybe a quarter, three-quarter, maybe, that guy might be armed,
Yeah. You ever notice how in the South people are very polite to each other?
Have a nice day.
Yeah, I'm serious. Everyone is that way. I'm not saying that some people don't get into things or whatever, but for the most part here, everyone kind of knows. You don't know who you're messing with. That little old white lady could be armed to the teeth and be a crack shot. She could hit you twice on the way down.
With no remorse.
She's probably doing like shooting or whatever from, the time she was walking. And I think that makes a big difference to a lot of people. And I've seen like relatives in my family have come here and they're like, sometimes they see certain things and they're like, how are people walking around this late at night and doing this and doing that? And I'm like, I don't think you really want to mess with anyone. You don't really know who you're running into, whether what they're doing is legal or illegal, because a lot of it is, there's a lot of things that are legal and they can do if they need to defend themselves.
Yeah, oh yeah. It might not be a gun. They might whip out a damn, that's a blade kind of thing and slice and dice you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's some machete dudes too.
Knife fighters cut you up real good.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, listen. So we hit 9 o'clock, which is actually whenever Kevin's here. This happens real fast. Yeah, we get into a lot of different kinds of conversation. What I want to do to wrap this all up for you guys, I don't know if anyone out there has any other questions or any kind of stuff like that. We're not going to be back until Monday, but we're going to have some good stuff, and we're going to have some good social media stuff going out for myself, Walter, Babyface P.
Yep.
So what I want to do here probably is like go to Walter and then Kevin. Walter, how can the folks follow you on the social medias? And have you gotten up on any of these alternative stuff that people are up on now?
I have a Parler account, I believe. I haven't done anything there. Like I said kind of before, when you're doing other things during the day, sometimes it's hard to have 5 or 6 different social media things, right? and keep track of all of it. So right now I'm doing the old school stuff. I'm using them like a Trojan. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. That's Safety Harbor Firearms or safetyharborfirearms.com. I just posted some mini bike stuff up on Dirtfoot Racing. We're working on an engine.
I heard you're going to be selling some mini bike parts.
Yeah, we got a CNC plasma table coming, so we're going to start cutting and making some different parts.
Okay. I'm going to start thinking of some stuff I need made.
Well, it can even be artsy fartsy.
You could
have
exactly.
It's a 4x4 plasma table, so you can cut a lot of
4x4.
Yeah. So that's
4 foot by 4 foot.
So 4 foot by 4 foot, yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, we're going to be making all kinds of things,
Yeah, I see. Even the gears are turning inside Kevin's head.
He's seen that logo. He's seen that big ass metal logo.
NOC. Let me see. 4 foot by 4 foot.
Your wife's like, get out of the house.
And actually, if it's 4 foot by 4 foot, you could do N, then you could do O, and you could do C.
I am. Good to know.
Thank you, Hank, for giving him all these ideas.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. Okay, so cool. So all the old school places.
So you're gonna do all your 4x4 letters for your Hank Strange.
I'm guessing that's also gonna be heavy. So
it'd be like the Hollywood sign. Hollywood, Hank Strange.
Yeah, I don't really want to advertise that much. But I think it's gonna be cool when you get that plasma table, though.
It'll be fun.
I'm gonna have some stuff made, or try. I'm gonna try to have some stuff made. Okay, so before we go to Kevin Dixie, Armament and Axes did give us a super chat here. Thanks a lot. He says I missed it. He says, but does Katie donk his guns? Old joke. Laugh out loud. Okay. There you go.
I do have look, besides my custom pistols, I don't really add a lot to guns, but I probably do have 1 or 2. I'm like, why the hell did I do that?
Okay, I don't know exactly how you donk a gun, but okay. I mean, if it's a cannon,
metallic green with gold accents, maybe.
Oh, true.
I really think when you donk a gun, you put a good paint job on it, and then I guess you put an extendo in it, right? You put an extended magazine in it. I guess that's the equivalent of wheels. So, but maybe you should do that. Maybe we should put like a. Oh no! I'm making stuff illegal.
Well, what's the whole spirit of donks? Like, from what I know, the spirit of donks these are really cheap cars that these guys could buy without having to report it anywhere, and then they pour a bunch of money into it, which they don't have to report. So it has to first start by being a cheap gun then. So let's say you get a high point and then you put pearl handles on it.
Don't give me ideas.
I mean, if you're going by the donk rules,
I think you got to have a.
People seem to like my little high cock video where I put the high point, the 1095T and 10 millimeter, and I put two. Was a $300 gun, and I put two $1,500 optics on top of it.
Right.
Well, that's a donk. You got
there you go.
$300 car with $2,000 worth of wheels.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. So
that's technical. Yeah. Yeah. So, Kevin, how can the folks out there support you? Where do they need to go? How can they communicate with you?
Biggest thing to do right now is go to northernchoice.com. Please sign up for the email list. There is you can get training. You can sign up for training right on the website. You can like I said, we're now outside of swag, which we do have swag. These beanies will soon be listed. You got hats, shirts, hoodies. It is hoodie season, so we have hoodies over there for you. And we're going to be dropping about 7 other designs next week on the website. You can also go over there and get accessories. So you got your lights, you got, mags and a whole thing like that. I will tell you, they're selling out fast. I ordered in a batch of 6.5 Grendel mags, and within 2 minutes they were gone. So people are going to the site. They are getting stuff. So go over there, support that way. To Hank's point, I am, somebody that's active in the gun community trying to protect our rights. So anything you can do to help me is greatly appreciated. I do have a Parler account. I always wanted to be a pirate, so it's kind of cool. I get to parlay. So
I haven't even figured out how to do that, man.
Yeah.
There's certain features I don't know how to do. I don't know how to tag someone on there.
Yeah, I think you just got to get. So I put on my post, like, I'm just going to get on there and start pushing buttons.
Yeah.
So I can just right. But I do think that there is the Parler. It probably could be a pretty good median. So I am on Parler. You can go over Parler and support me, and everything is the real NOC on all the platforms. Clearly, there is Facebook. There is the YouTube. We're going to be putting more videos on YouTube. There will also be on the website. It's going to be cheap. It's going to be no more than $2.99. It's $2.99 a month. Where we're going to, if you get into that, you're going to have access to the entire category. We can also use assistance on Patreon. Patreon, all my Patreon members that are $10 and more, you're going to be the first person to get any news about discounts and everything on the site. You'll get that for everybody else, so you can support that way as well. There's always Aiming for the Truth, our community outreach program, which a large portion of our proceeds from the firearms business go to that, and that is GoFundMe.com/Aiming for the Truth. And yeah, those are all the ways to get in touch with me and to interact.
Absolutely. Very cool. And listen, we have like 97 thumbs up. So if 3 people smash the thumbs ups right now, which I think is totally feasible, we'll get to 100. So I'm not going to actually call this until I see 100 up there, because I know there's enough people to smash those thumbs ups and get it there. Special K says, shoot, he's in ATL. Now he has to donk his firearms. So,
what do you think? How about a $2,000 Trijicon scope on a high point?
That has to be green, though. You got to make that like a nice pearl
I ain't
green.
painting this. No way.
Why not?
That ain't natural. No.
I think it could be done.
Not the Trijicon. No, sir.
No. There's people who could. Kevin knows some people that could Cerakote that.
Yeah, you'd have to take it apart to Cerakote, I think, because you have to put it in the oven.
But I think Trijicon, you void their warranty.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Yeah, you get. Yeah, don't do
that. Don't do that with a Trijicon.
Yeah, this is 308, like a machine gun Trijicon. So.
No. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I would also say, you should keep up too, because unlike another thing I'm going to add, follow, because I'm walking people through this journey in night vision. Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm going to walk you through. I got a bunch of cool night vision stuff coming out. But I'm walking people through it because I'm relatively new to night vision. So if you ever thought about that stuff and you want to see it like from start to finish, I am going to be doing a lot of things on night vision. I'm training with a lot of guys around the country that teach night vision. So keep up for those reasons.
Yeah, I saw you doing some stuff with Noir. Was that Noir? I think so. I saw you mean mugging him somewhere.
Well, that was last year, man. That's because the dude is standing there and he's got like the whole like one leg up thing, and I'm like, bro, what are you?
You're gonna make me choke.
Leg up, and people were taking pictures. We were up there with
he's kind of hipsterish, you can't hate on him. He's
man, but I'm like, Doc, why is your leg up? And he's looking at me when he's doing it. He knew I was gonna have a problem with it, and I'm like, why are you doing it? He was like, oh, this is what all the girls do, dude. Let me flex. I'm like, all right, man. I just walked away.
Okay, I'm gonna have to see video of this because I don't understand.
But no, he recently went and did Buck's low light, no light class over there in Raton, New Mexico. So he's got one small video out now where they were out there shooting at night. I will be with Buck at the end of March. I already hit New Orleans, the guy up and like, yo, you guys need to circle back so we can do this together in March to go out there and have a good time. But yeah, he's gotten into night vision now. It's really two things in this gun thing that you can do that are I guess at the top of it, and that's extreme long range shooting and night vision. Mm-hmm. Like those are the things that really get into your pockets a little bit. I didn't get into it to stunt on people by any stretch of the imagination. I was just in a real world situation where guns were at play.
So all the stunting is accidental, Walter. That's the translation. Any stunting that Kevin is doing, showing all kinds of headgear or whatever, that's accidental. That's not deliberate.
It's not intentional.
That's not meant to raise your heckles.
I have a mono tube, right, which is a singular tube, not a dual tube. So a lot of people are looking at me like, oh, he's trying, but he's still poor. That's fine. It's fine. But I'm working with what I got. Now, I am the guy that at the same time went out and put a damn near $3,000 illuminator on my rifle. So I did do that. But I buy things that I know I'm going to want, and I'll much rather cry once, get it out the way, and I know I don't have to replace the thing for 10 years. So I'm kind of that guy.
Let me just say something about the new people coming into office. They don't like night vision either, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So,
I didn't know.
oh yeah, that's been talked of for a while about getting rid of
Yeah.
night vision for civilians. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Real quick before.
That puts you at an advantage.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They don't like any of that stuff. Same thing with body armor. Real quick before we get out of here, Kiaski says, "What are the top 3 barrel manufacturers?" What can you guys think of? I know we met the guys from Shaw Barrel, and they've been around for over 100 years. I would say them.
My opinion, and look, this is just all opinion, but in no particular order, Faxon, Shaw, and Ballistic Advantage.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Packnor makes barrels, a lot of high end barrels. The people I get my barrels rifle from, now I can't remember their damn name. That would help.
Seriously, Walter, you write these guys a check.
Anyways,
they do rifling and drilling.
Faxon has been doing good stuff for sure.
Yeah, they do mostly AR stuff.
And I'll tell you this: Faxon believes in what, and I'm not saying nobody else doesn't. Okay, I'm not saying that, but I know the guys at Faxon really, really well. And let me tell you, from the owner on down, those guys believe in your rights and they fight for your rights and they put money into it. So, and then they turn out a great product. So I really believe in those guys.
Yeah.
I think nobody else does. And I just spent 3 days with the guys over at Shaw, with one of the owners and a couple of guys that work there. They're really good people. We had some nice conversations about the Second Amendment, like off camera, and those are some real dudes too. Like they really believe in this stuff. They are blue collar workers. They are about turning out a good product at an affordable price for American people. So, get out and support companies.
Yeah, and you just haven't heard of them. They've been around for 100 years. You just haven't heard of them until recently.
They OEM.
Yeah, they do OEM stuff. So I'm gonna try to get something up. I still have videos coming out of from that event that we went to. Walter, did you remember?
Hank was there with me. Yeah.
Drilling Dynamics is the name of the company. They specialize in gun drilling, which gun drilling is not necessarily always gun barrels. It's deep holes. So they make the bits and all the tools for that. Plus, but I buy the rifled blanks from them, and then I had somebody else chamber them. So, but they do a good job. So.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I think we covered that. Let me run in the end here. We did hit 100. Thanks to everyone for that. Make sure you guys smash the subscribe button here. Ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. Hit those thumbs ups, leave comments, all that kind of stuff. Share it. We'll have some videos going up here on this channel, as well as the main channel that you guys could check out. I think Lola turned on my SBR video that's up there and shooting some new steel on the range. Big thanks to Kevin, Katie, Kevin Dixie of No Other Choice NOC. Make sure you guys follow and support him, as well as Walter Keller out there. Big thanks to Franklin Armory. Who wants the last word here? Who wants the last word?
It's your show.
No, always someone else goes. I talk too much already.
Oh, well, okay.
Knives.
Pull out a knife. Walt, have it.
Be civil with your people. Be civil.
He doesn't like it when people pull out the knives. Hold on, Walt. Do it again. What?
Oh, wait a second.
Wait, you didn't get it out the front yet, huh, Kevin Dixie? Somebody help Kevin Dixie out.
Paint him a red knife. He'll do it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, he's in. He's all the way in. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace.